Have you heard the story of New York Minute? I'm like, someone is in my garage. Like, I can hear them in my garage. I'm just clearing my house, and I walk, and I just stand still. Like, if you walk in my front door, it's basically the center of the entire house, and I just stand there for like 2 minutes, and I hear it, and I'm like, they think I'm in bed, and I'm like, all right, that's it, and I just open the door, and it's my screen door.
So you're telling me?
Yep.
The screen door was peeking in your window.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome. It's HardLore time. How are you, Bo?
I'm feeling great.
Me too. We've got a very special in-person episode. We don't get to do many of these. We hand select a special few. Today, we've got Paul and Mike from Missing Link. Before we get started, guys, we just recorded the HardLore Awards.
We got some news for you.
We got some news for you. Watch Me Bleed, Album of the Year.
We knew it. I'm just kidding.
I kind of clued Paul in. I was like, hey, you might want to stand by for the awards because you're going to have to say something. So, Watch Me Bleed, Album of the Year, if you guys want to accept the award formally.
We did it. Mom, I did it.
Mom?
Mom?
Paul did it.
I did it. I said in the episode that when you sent it to me, I immediately was like, this might be this year. And it was, I think you sent it to me in maybe 2023. Was it done in 2023?
No.
So
it was early 2024.
Pre-LDB.
Yeah. It was right.
Yeah, we finished it right then.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I remember that weekend being like, guys, you got something here. Let's go back in time.
Yeah.
We don't want to. We're not there yet.
We'll get there.
Tell me about you two individually finding hardcore.
I was 10 years old.
10?
Good age.
I was 10 years old riding the bus, and I was into skateboarding. And my friend Jason LaPointe, who he would never watch this, but shout out Jason. He had his older cousin's Earth Crisis Gomar Season Ends CD, and I only knew the CD had wrenches on it. And I listened to it, and I was like, this is insane. And the only thing I had before that was I think it was Huey Lewis in the News.
Sports?
No,
Sports?
it was my aunt had made it for me.
Oh,
so it was just a bunch of bangers. It was a cassette.
Cassette.
Yeah. Best of Huey is hours long.
And it was it was awesome. But then I heard that and I was like, this is insane. And then there was a place called Red's Underground, and I went and bought a.
Where's that?
It was in Glens Falls, New York.
So you had only heard Best of Huey Lewis and
then
I heard other music,
but
of course.
So you were like, I'm getting kind of Huey Lewis vibes from this Earth Crisis band.
No, I just heard it and I was like, this
Boss
sounds
baby.
crazy. And I had like heard music and skate videos and stuff. And I think it was 4th grade. And we go to the UCD store, and it's like, as far as the eye could see, just CDs. And I went to one table and I went up, and I pulled the Earth Crisis CD out.
You found it?
Found it. It's $3. And then I pulled out Pantera Far Beyond Driven. And that was like my intro to music. And then everything after that was like, I was like, I like this. And then I think later that year, my brother had an older friend whose mom was kind of irresponsible and brought us to a show.
Your brother Tim?
My brother Tim.
Savior
Shout out Tim.
to the masses of all musicians.
We'll get there.
The man. Okay.
We'll get up.
But,
we'll get there.
Yeah, so as we did, probably all did when we were 16, my brother's friend's mother worked at a grocery store with this 16-year-old kid who was like flyering.
Yeah.
And was like, I'll bring my son and his friends to this. And it was like a metalcore show in, I'm old, so 98 or 99. Whoa. And that was it. Literally every weekend they had Sunday matinee shows.
Straight up old head vibes.
And the first like show I remember was a Candiria show that I went to.
Dude, Candiria ran the world.
Well, Candiria, Indecision, Fahrenheit 451.
Beautiful gig.
Yeah. That is New
Crazy
York.
Gig.
Yeah.
What about you, Mike?
I I was in 6th grade, so like 11.
Good age.
Nice. It's crazy.
Yeah,
What were your other favorite things when you were in 4th and 6th grade?
Yeah, when you were 11.
Like discovering
Hockey.
hardcore. What was that?
Skateboarding.
hockey.
Skateboarding.
Skateboarding and hockey.
That's advanced.
Yeah.
that makes sense.
For 11.
Though.
I didn't have a sports family. They didn't care.
Yeah, same.
We had,
Skateboarding was
old
the
hippie
sport to the
parents, but
non-sports.
like just skateboarding.
Yeah.
That was it.
Beautiful.
And where were you growing up?
Auburn, New York. So
Okay.
like 30 minutes from Syracuse.
Okay.
30
Okay.
miles.
So you're both up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Upstate, baby.
Yeah.
518.
My neighborhood was like me, Shane Woodman from Bitter End,
Of course.
and my older cousin Dustin, and then our buddy Sean. We all lived in this like 3-block neighborhood, and they were like a couple years older and were like already into hardcore, and I started hanging out with them and started going to shows. First show, April 2003.
You got a month too.
I have a demo from then. That's why. Yeah.
Would you remember
We all
what the
got
show
one.
was?
If Hope Dies, which was an awesome band. They're from my hometown. It was
Okay.
them. This band Eyes Averted. This band The Devil's Discipline, and
I thought the Devil's was going somewhere else. I was like, I'm listening.
and then probably someone else, but I don't remember.
Sure.
It was at a Salvation Army in the gym.
Oh.
The Salvo.
I think I played there before.
Awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. Like my second show was like It Dies Today in that gym. So
Yeah. What were some formative tours and shows you guys saw? So you can find an Earth Crisis CD all day.
Yeah.
But we all know the live experience is where it's like, okay, I found my thing.
Yeah, after your Candiria show, and after that show, you were just talking about like what was the big tour that came through?
Like,
and you're
what made you go, okay, I'll go to another one?
Yeah.
mine was the first one.
Yeah, mine was the first one. It was like, this is because there were shows at this place called Luna's Underground, which is just a bar that was like in a basement, and the room was probably as big as this, but there were like rafters you could like hang from and stuff. So I'm 10.
It's rowdy.
And I'm like, this
is what I do at
You
home.
could smoke inside and stuff, and I was just like, yo, that was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. And then the Candiria show was like that same month.
Yeah.
So me and my brother and a couple people went to that, and I was like, well, this is it. And pretty much from then in Glens Falls, they would do Sunday matinee shows. So any band like going through Albany would be like, oh, we'll go 45 minutes north and play there. So I saw like OG, like Embrace Today, Unearth, like Skinless. And then Skinless is like
Now you're
from where
talking.
I'm from.
Yeah.
So it's like,
So 45 minutes and it's still 518?
oh yeah, baby. It's 518 up to
Yeah, the
Canada.
area codes
Oh,
are
wow.
huge.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
big.
518
Upstate.
stretches from like south of Albany up to Canada.
Oh shit.
Unity. It's really unifying a lot of zip codes. So, Paul, could you tell me where exactly is Viper City?
Exit 3 off the Northway.
Okay, nice.
So,
The Northway.
well, actually,
of
the
course.
bit, okay, the bit is ruined with that because 87 runs from New York City up to Albany, and it's a toll highway, freeway, whatever.
Sure.
When you hit Albany, 87 goes up to Canada, and there's no tolls. It's not like a whatever.
Just Vipers.
So
Nice.
they call that the Northway, and there was no exit 3 for some reason. It went 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 to whatever.
Damn.
So when people would ask,
Creepy.
I would go, we would all say
Snakes.
exit 3 off the Northway, and they would go,
for sure.
And we would get messages all the time like, yo, I was in Albany, I found what the Northway is, and there's no exit 3. We'd be like, that's crazy.
That's fucking
Gosh,
It's there, dude.
These fucking snakes.
It's
All
like
the
the
snakes.
ninth green at 9 trick from
Exactly.
Happy Meal.
Oh,
The
man.
hardcore
Oh.
version.
Isn't that
Yeah.
devastating to
Yes.
this day?
Breaks my heart.
Heartbreaking. Paul, you've been a barber for some time, right?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
like 12 years.
Can you tell me about in barber school throwing a yoo-hoo at a guy's head?
Damn, dude.
Right before he went to get you guys, he said, "I don't have any Nardwar shit."
The yoo-hoo just
Tristan
came to me.
probably told you that.
Who?
So, barber school is kind of like county lockup. It's at least in San Diego, because I went in San Diego, and it
Right.
was right next to Balboa Park, where a lot of homeless people lived. But on people's lunches, they would go get drunk down the street.
Jesus.
So, and come back to barber school.
Yeah.
And so we were chilling, and this dude who was in barber school was like, at the time, 45 years old, 50 years old, something. And he was a student, and the long story is, I unplugged his phone to plug my phone in to my buddy's charger.
That is
dirty.
Okay.
Dude, that's
dirty.
But
Simple.
no. It was my buddy's charger. And
Oh,
I
that's
said,
even his.
friend of this day, my buddy Chris, and I was like, hey, can I use your charger? And he goes, yeah, I don't know whose phone is connected to it. He goes, but you can use
So
it. I said, cool.
he threw the first stone.
Oh, so I said, this dude comes back drunk, and he's like, who unplugged my phone? I was like, oh, I did. And he's like, why? He's like, my phone, whatever. He's yelling. And I'm like, well, it's Chris's charger or whatever.
Yeah.
And he said some shit, and I went to like kind of stand up, and he, if you're like here and someone kind of taps you, I just went, all right. And I had just cracked a crispy can. A
can?
It was a can.
Okay, bottle would have killed the man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, glass bottle would kill him.
Yeah.
Crispy can, but it was open. So, and I was like, all right, do I smoke this dude, or so I from like 2 feet away just threw a full can of yoo-hoo at his face, and it hit him in the face.
No, Tristan described. My source described it as insane accuracy.
Yeah, and I felt really bad because there was a guy getting his haircut like couple seats
shit.
down, and he got some yoo-hoo on him. But then, it was like, cause you know how it is.
Was
like,
it not a free cut to begin with?
No, it was $5.
No, yeah.
But
That's still a bargain.
like we're used to the
Yeah.
Sure.
shit popping off. Barber school is not, but my buddy Chris is kind of like from the streets or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was like me, Tristan, and Chris like ready to go, and everyone was like, "Yo, these guys were really chill up until right now."
And the guy in
then-
this robe just like.
yeah, and then
And you're never more vulnerable than when you got the motherfucking
yeah.
robe on.
Yeah.
What color shirt was the guy who you got?
I actually remember it was baby blue.
Yeah,
That
that's
would
gonna
be
ruin.
disgusting.
Yeah.
That is-
That's
He
gonna
came
ruin
back.
it, dude.
He got suspended, and we got
Not
sent
you.
home. Not me. Well, because
Whoa.
they loved us.
Yeah.
They loved us in barber school, and he got sent home for a couple weeks, and then when he came back, he like me and Tristan and Chris, he came up to like be like, hey, blah blah blah, and we just like big dicked him. We're like, no, fuck you.
Go get me a yoo-hoo, motherfucker.
Yeah, I should have put a yoo-hoo on it.
You should have.
You like yoo-hoo?
I love yoo-hoo.
Dude,
You know, it's a
yoo-hoo is-
chocolate drink.
It's a chocolate
What do
drink.
they call it? Chocolate beverage?
It's like chocolate water.
It's water
not
and
chocolate.
chocolate.
Yeah, I don't
perfect.
I don't like it either. I got like a
Unbelievable.
chunky one once.
Hater.
Oh,
Hater.
I'll drink it.
And that
right
ruined
now.
it.
Now, Mike, I want you to know I got nothing for you.
That's okay.
And it shows what a mystery inside of an enigma you are.
Or
Yeah, that's kind of
Or I'm
averagely,
just boring.
he's boring.
But I've heard you have a kind of a crazy life. Could you tell me about it?
In what? I don't know. In what way?
That's
Could you
all
t-
I know is somebody
It's
said like
just us
you
here.
guys
No
should
one
talk-
else is
Yeah,
listening.
nobody's watching this.
It's just
Around
us.
the world.
Don't
Yeah.
worry about it.
Somebody has said you should talk to Mike, man. His life's insane.
Well,
What?
he's insane because he's so normal.
I think maybe
You
like,
look super normal. Take that hat off and show him how normal you are. You, my God.
Wow, that is a beautiful head.
He
Right.
really is the missing link.
Put it back on.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it back on.
Put it back on.
I don't know. I think maybe I've definitely had some crazy events happen, but I think like it's not like to me it's just been part of my life, so I don't really view it as if it happens to you, it's like that was crazy today.
Could you tell me about one?
Like I got
Statutes up.
stabbed.
Oh.
That's not great. In
Where
the
were you?
face.
In
In the
In the
face?
face?
Yeah, like you can't see it because the surgeon, I don't know what his name was, shout out to that guy. I basically got stabbed like in the corner of my mouth, and it's like under, there's like you can probably see like
Yeah.
a scar.
Dude, they
the
did
inside is
great work.
worse.
You got to get his name.
I know. He was really mad at me because it was at like 3:30 in the morning. They had to like call him in.
Yeah,
it was
right.
like
I remember that
traumatic.
text.
He had to leave his palatial estate to
Dude.
so
Yeah.
no,
He was on
fixing
at the
another
other
one.
hospital. He had to drive like a mile. He was,
I don't know
Mad.
who texted me about that. I was like, yo, Mike got stabbed in the face tonight. And I was like, is he alive? I was like, yeah.
I was
It's
like in the hospital taking selfies.
It was like, yeah, he's good, but it's kind of gnarly. And I just went, dope.
yeah, it was not. It's like
just adds to the.
I'll show you.
lore.
I'll show you a picture of the wound.
Here's
later.
Yeah, here it is.
Mike's fucking stab face.
Yep.
Bummer.
That was
Jeez,
awesome.
what did that feel like?
To be honest, I didn't feel like anything
nothing.
happened.
Yeah.
And then I walked to my now wife. We weren't together at the time. I like turned around and she was standing there. It was basically like, "Do you want to ride to the hospital?" And I just was like, "Nah, I'm gonna walk." I just like started walking like a cool. I know.
Yeah, dude,
that how
that's
love
that's
started, though?
straight
Yeah,
up.
is that your
is
meet cute?
No. Before that, I hollered at her like hard.
Yes.
First time I ever met her.
Oh.
And I'm like, Anyways,
Yeah.
you'd think she sees me get stabbed and just, whatever. But she she had my number.
She's a real one.
And I walked, and a buddy actually picked me up and brought me, he's like, you're not walking, dude, you're bleeding everywhere. And the hospital's like half a mile away. So I get there, whatever, I'm sitting there, they bring me in the back, and they're like, don't open your mouth, because it's holding on by like a thread.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
And you went,
I was like, all right.
yeah.
And then the guy brings me in, and he's like, all right, I gotta look at it. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, don't open your mouth unless, whatever. And the first thing he does is tips my head back, opens my mouth, and just takes 2 fingers and is like, and it didn't split, but I was like, and he just takes a needle and starts injecting me with Novocaine or whatever.
Yeah.
And so actually getting stabbed was fine. The surgery sucked.
Yeah.
And then the next day was Thanksgiving.
Oh.
And my face from the surgery was eyes swollen shut. And I have to call my mom.
No fixins.
Well, actually, first I called my dad.
Yeah.
And they're not together, but they're cool.
Sure.
And my dad's kind of a street guy, so I'm like, hey, some crazy stuff happened last night, whatever. He's like, what happened? I was like, oh, I got stabbed. He's like, you did?
Finally.
Really?
And I didn't tell my mom. I was like, I'm just not coming, for Thanksgiving, because they live in Auburn still. I live in Rochester, and healing was brutal, really bad.
How long?
Only a couple weeks, but it was. You have to drink this nasty shit, and they treat stab wounds very seriously.
Was the hardest part emotionally missing Thanksgiving dinner?
It wasn't.
I don't like Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Now, hold on a minute.
You don't like eating 8 pounds at 3 p.m.?
We'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The interesting, not really interesting, but I started getting hit up by people that were like, yo, I heard you got stabbed. That's so hard. And I'm like, no, it's not. Literally, first of all, I lost apparently.
Sure.
I
Yeah,
didn't know I was in the fight, but I lost. And it's not hard to have someone do something. It would have been hard if the guy stabbed me and then I tombstone pile drive.
Sure.
That would have
It's
been hard.
hard as it gets.
So I just was like,
We
I
can
don't-
change the story
you know.
a little bit. You can say
So
whatever
then I
you
pile
want.
drive and
Steven,
through the
edit
earth.
that.
Okay.
But no, I just stuff like that has happened to me.
Yeah.
And not just specifically to me, but to people that I grew up with, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But when it's part of your life, I don't view it as crazy. I view it as tiring.
Yeah.
That's how I'm like, I don't want to deal with.
So
stuff
I'm going to
like
ask
that.
you something that maybe a lot of people in your life don't ask you. You okay?
I'm great.
Okay.
I'm awesome.
You let me know.
Yeah, I'm good.
Don't
I'm
let
great.
him.
I'll be right here.
Don't put him in the blender
No.
on COD, dude.
I would never.
Nah.
Oh,
He'll
if I
fall
get
apart.
tilted,
He'll fall apart, dude,
Okay.
real quick.
You
I
seem.
go.
He'll fall apart real quick.
It's
brother.
your Call of Duty squad is who has told me that your life is insane.
Oh, is it the gridiron dudes?
It's some grid little
Will.
little Brody,
Uh huh.
They've heard some things.
Yeah, but it's I don't know. To me, it's just normal.
Good for you.
It's probably the same as Brody telling stories that are just wrestling shit.
Sure.
And you're like, what? What do you mean you broke your jaw?
Yeah,
You
and
know.
I think that's when it's part of your life, it just is what it is. And then the only thing that has really happened to me from that is I just want to avoid that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe I was just too stupid to avoid
Sure.
it.
Is it silver lining that you met your now wife? You said.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So
You had your second meet cute.
Yeah, but
You had your meet ugly.
Did that
Yeah.
brought you together?
me getting stabbed, is that what brought us together? No, I was dating another girl at the time. And I was and honestly, part of it was I can't take a ride from her because my now girlfriend already thinks that I like her, which I
she
did.
yeah.
And now you're
okay.
married. So
Now
there's
we're married
honestly.
with a kid and we've been together for
Wonderful.
8 years. So
So the
beautiful.
moral is get stabbed.
Here's the thing.
You
The
never-
I
first
wouldn't
lady that
suggest
sees
it.
you
Yeah.
after the stab.
You lost the fight, though.
You did.
I didn't.
But you
to be
got
honest
the
with
girl,
I
Mike.
made the golden rule mistake, which is don't try to help.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
all
You
these people
never-
are fighting, and I just this guy's gonna die.
Oh.
So I pick him up. I'm I got him. I pick him up and I carry him over to this little kind of alleyway park thing. And as I stand up from putting him down, his buddy ran up behind, stabbed me from behind, which is cowardly. Got your back though, didn't I? Nah, I'm just kidding.
Now you're talking.
I'm just kidding.
So
It was
what?
I was gonna say it was over 10 years ago.
Yeah,
way longer.
Yeah.
7 years in
Tell me about your first bands.
I was
gonna ask- band?
Yeah, when did music come around now?
Oh,
Who is older, you or your brother?
my brother. He's a year older.
He's a year older.
Yeah.
Was he already into music?
No, my two uncles on my mom's side, they played in like a bar band their entire life. So it was like, he's got tattoos. He's the coolest guy ever. He plays guitar. And so my brother was like, I'm going to play guitar. And I can't play guitar as well. So I was like, I'll play drums. Because my
Sick.
other uncle plays drums
Cursed
too.
with the cursed roll.
And it was like, we went, I think I joined the school band for drums in 4th grade. So around
what did
the
you
same
do
time.
on drums in the school band? You hit the big cymbal?
I played whatever.
Oh.
It was kind of fucked up. I think about this, like, the way they would let you do percussion was you had to hit, like, the big bass drum.
Yeah.
And then...
It's useless
And
skill.
you would keep time, and then the band instructor would play, like, a little rudiment thing.
He would do the dope shit.
And if you could keep time, you were allowed to do percussion. And I was like, yo, what if I fucked up?
Yeah. And I'm a
however old you
savant
are?
and you don't even know.
And then,
Yeah, right, yeah.
And like, but really, it was like me and my brother was there for everything. Like like his first show was my first show too.
Beautiful.
So it was like, it was that, and then it was like, well, these guys are in a band. We could do a band. So we started a band called. It was my brother's favorite band is Blink-182, and the singer of the band's favorite band was Nirvana. So it was, I think,
Blink-1.
it was Nerink.
Oh.
And that turned into
Damn.
I've never even heard this one. So
and that
that's
turned
cool.
into Bliss.
Bliss.
Oh, Bliss is hard.
And it was Bliss for a while, and we played just straight up hardcore shows. It was sick.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We played our first show. I was out of 6th grade. We just played a show.
Whoa.
It was cool.
That's what it's all
That's
about.
awesome.
Yeah.
Mike, what was your first band?
I did a bunch of like kind of jamming with people that like but never did anything, never really like played.
You were always
shows.
the front man?
No, a drummer,
Oh, really?
but like a horrible one.
Let me see a blast beat.
Can't do it, man.
It's a shame. That's pretty good.
got
I mean,
the feet.
I believe you.
yeah, I believe you now. Yeah, right.
But
You better fucking watch
I
out,
ended
Paul.
up joining a band that was already like going because our buddy in my hometown got into a motorcycle accident playing drums.
What one was that?
Sacred Pledge. Which was
Vegan
like a
straight edge.
sacred
Oh,
edge.
shit.
XVX?
Yeah.
To this day?
No.
Dude, I gotta say,
Oh,
there
yeah,
was-
that's the one that matters.
when you weren't vegan anymore, he used to have a tattoo that said "Vegan Power."
did.
But he was respectful and he was like, well, I'm not vegan anymore. I got to get it blacked out.
Yeah.
But he, for a while, just had vegan blacked out, so it just said power. And I was like,
Not a great look.
that's a little sussy, bud.
You know, and that would be fine under normal circumstances, but you look like you.
Yeah.
He didn't have long hair then
Yeah,
either.
and I was like shaved head.
Oh,
sometimes.
God.
And that hair looks like what? Can you remind me one more time?
Yeah, you want
Absolutely
a good one?
gorgeous. And is the next Home Alone shooting scene? Or?
Yes, that'd
Okay.
be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
I'd
if you were young Marv.
But yeah, I did that, and it was honestly very short-lived because the guys in the band just didn't get along, and we did a couple tours, but it was. Did you point at me?
No, my bad. I interrupted you. I apologize.
No, you're good.
Why didn't you do any tours or anything?
No, we did some tours,
You did some.
But you beefed.
but we were young. I got along with everybody.
Right.
But Reggie, who you guys probably know,
Reggie McCafferty?
yeah.
Oh,
he played
wow.
bass, so his first band was
Reggie
my first band.
XVX?
Yes.
Unbelievable. Reggie was in Backtrack, and
yeah.
he was vegan.
Apparently.
And straight up.
Yeah, so Reggie and our singer Shane did not see eye to eye, like,
Gotcha.
like literally at all. And we were crazy kids.
Sure.
So, like, I dropped out of school to tour with Sacred Pledge, which
You were
is like hilarious.
Mom, Sacred Pledge is popping off. I can't do this anymore.
I was already like skipping school, whatever.
Yeah.
But I literally remember the day that I left. I left with like a garbage bag full of clothes. 'Cause I like didn't even own a bag.
Right.
Whoa.
And my mom was like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "I don't know."
Figured it out.
vegan.
And I would call her, and yeah.
I'm vegan.
Every
Mom.
day I would call her, and she'd be like, "I'll come pick you up wherever
Oh,
you are."
that's a good
Oh,
mom.
that's
like-
a good mom.
Yeah, okay. I don't even know where I am. Like, but it was like short runs, like
Sure.
a week or maybe 2 weeks. But it was fun. I loved it.
Nice.
When
But,
did you two meet?
During like that time.
We play. My old band played with Sacred Pledge
My
a
old
few
band.
times.
Okay.
That was, yes,
Say it.
Recon.
Yeah.
We played with Sacred Pledge
Drum fill enter
a few
here.
times. Played it tonight. And then we really met. I lived in Buffalo, for a
Yeah.
couple years.
You've been
and
all over the place, man.
I know.
Little
And
nomad.
And I moved to Buffalo.
he lived in Buffalo, and then we ended up working at the most insane, scary nightclub ever.
Yeah.
That
In
was
Buffalo?
just.
Yeah.
I
Like,
worked there for a
true
while,
chaos.
and like the last month I lived in Buffalo, we worked together there, and it was like fight school every day. It
Straight
was so
up.
cool.
Like
It
Roadhouse?
was Roadhouse,
It was-
exactly.
It was like Roadhouse,
Dude.
but with like gang members.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Pretty cool.
But no. But then we connected because
I was filling in
he was filling in for CDC,
on tour in Europe.
and we did
You did one of those?
we did a World
You
of
served your
Pain.
time in
awesome.
CDC?
Yeah.
You played drums?
Loved it. No, sang.
You sang.
So the first tour I ever did, CDC took Sacred Pledge out, and
And then Sacred Pledge became CDC?
no, Kalen left the tour like unannounced halfway through to go to Disney World with his mom.
Oh,
so
he'll do
John
that.
was like, "Yo, can somebody fill in?" And I was like, "I could rap. I could fill. I could fill in." And I did. And then years later, he literally just called me out of the blue. Like, hadn't talked to him in like 2 years or something. Like, we always stayed in contact.
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey, we got to do this Europe tour, and whoever's not going to do it, do you want to do it?" And all I wanted to do was go to Europe.
Of course.
Yeah.
I was like a loser from upstate New York. Like, yeah, I want to go to Europe.
We did.
So we did that.
Was it just us two? CDC?
Surge of Fury. Oh no, that was a different tour.
Oh, yeah.
It was World of Pain.
No, it was us three. They played some shows with us.
Yeah.
Awesome band.
Yeah.
Surge of Fury,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
I went
Criminally
back through your entire Instagram, just so you know. And the early posts are you talking about Surge of Fury.
Yeah.
It's some handsome selfies with no captions that are kind of pixelated. And beautiful pictures of your dog.
Yes. My
So
dog.
that's cool.
Yeah, my old dog.
Oh,
R.I.P.
rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Still with us.
So I did have this thing where I was just like, I have too many pictures on here.
Yeah.
And some of them I'm like, yeah, in 2014 this was okay to post.
Yeah.
But I don't want my friend doing something weird on here or whatever. So I just deleted a lot
Sure,
of stuff.
yeah, no, that's good. You left some good stuff.
Some quality.
I liked what I saw.
Yeah.
Oh, I got nothing.
I found out you were in CDC from that, though. you
Yeah.
know?
Dude,
I'm surprised you left that.
that I left.
I'm
CDC.
just kidding.
Dude, I love.
We can't dog CDC.
No, no.
I love John Bose.
Oh,
and, like
he's-
the core, like the real guys. Since I was a kid, like
Yeah.
they took my band on tour when we were like 16.
John is one of the most supportive people I think, historically, I've ever met.
He's not. He's a bully.
Yeah, he is a bully. Piece of
I
shit.
met John Bose when I was 12. He had an old band called Ellipsis.
New
and
metal
they
band.
came, this was the vibe of the town I grew up in. This band came called Ellipsis to play a matinee show, and they were giving out burned CDs.
Yeah.
So as 12, 13 years old, we were like, we're going to listen to this in the car and learn the words.
Fuck yeah.
And
awesome.
It is awesome.
surprise them.
So-
Whatever, because
surprise.
it was because they had this song that had this big sing along into some pit or whatever, and I remember John, we learned it, and it was probably like 20 of us like piling on to sing to this band that's never played Glens Falls, New York ever. And I remember after the show, John was like, "How the fuck
Yeah.
did you guys know?" It was like, "Oh, we learned it in the
We-
car."
yeah, we-
Before
we all banded together
yeah,
to
and
give you
he was
this
like, "Oh,
moment.
and he's been my dog ever
That
since."
would make me love
Yeah.
whoever.
And we've
that
done.
was.
I mean, I've played Recon, CDC. Swear to God, weekends were and Pale Horse was like every weekend.
John Bose of CDC and Cold Cuts merch, original drummer of Daylight, now known as Super Heaven,
Yep.
aka #1 trending song
On
ever on
TikTok,
Earth
yeah.
in the
I
world.
love to tell people my friend was in that band. You know? I
swear to God.
because kind of normies come
Yeah.
into my barbershop and they're like talking about like, oh, you play in a band? Have you ever heard this band? And I'm like, I love Super Heaven.
Yeah.
and
I've heard.
and I'm like,
My friend.
no big deal. But I used to tour with the guy who played drums for them.
Did you do anything with CDC out Chicago way?
I did.
I don't think I did. We did play a show together in Europe.
Really?
That was like the worst show. I think it was in Munich.
You don't say. Do you remember what year?
Dude, it was a long time ago
Oh yeah,
now.
you guys hate Europe.
But
What?
No, we don't.
it was a weird like corner stage, really like 6 foot tall stage
Munich.
in Munich. Yeah.
Did they
It was, like-
play?
I don't know.
Yo,
No, they had the other guy with him because I remember he had a booger.
Travis Bennington.
No, I love Travis.
We love
There's another guy
There's
singing.
a famous picture of him with a booger during CDC.
It wasn't him. It was another guy. It was another guy singing who had a booger. And I just remember thinking, like, I gotta walk away. This guy's.
Well,
and I'm not telling him.
Do you remember we played Munich in the corner stage?
And CDC did play one of the shows.
2013.
And the singer had a
That
booger.
would make sense because
Had a massive.
couldn't have been me.
No, it was not you.
This knows you?
I remember his face forever because of the booger.
Yeah.
There was CDC played that heist of the videos I sent you recently where like Chris is moshing
those
and I'm
are
moshing. And there's my friends found me moshing to CDC. So
Have you
Dude,
ever
outstanding. Awesome.
talked about CDC this much
no.
on your
is
guys'
world
This is
platform?
getting edited out.
Steven,
He's right there.
tell me about World of Pain, Paul. I know all about it, but tell them about it.
World of Pain was banned from San Diego.
Yeah.
I moved to San Diego in 2011, 2012, and their drummer, Ryan, who now plays drums in Mongrel, is a brewer and for beer or whatever, and was like very
Well,
popular.
Noah was
I think-
drummer first.
Well, Noah was the first drummer.
Connor sang.
the singer from Mongrel. He exited the band. Noah, being Noah, wanted to sing for the band, so he started doing that. And I love Noah, but I also don't. And so they had a couple different drummers, I think, and then Ryan played drums for them, and then he just like couldn't. He's got kids and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I moved to San Diego, and I helped them write a song, and they were like,
You're
"You
the
play
guy."
drums how we want the drummer to play, and so you just do it." So then I recorded with Taylor.
Was that the LP?
No, that was before that, the EP, Improvise.
Oh, okay.
Improvise, and then yeah, and then
you
I
did
just
the
did the
LP.
band from then on.
That's how
we
I
did
met
everything. Yeah, it was fun. I was like at Taylor's. I don't recall the story he was telling about some upstate band, and I was like, "You're telling it wrong. That's not how that happened."
That's awesome.
And he was like, not in a
Such
dickhead
a-
way,
such a
like
Paul
no
move,
shade.
by
It
the
was
way.
just, I was like, no, actually, it was this, and then this happened, and then this happened. He's like, really? I was like, well, I was there. So
That's awesome.
exactly how that happened. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. He's like, where are you from? And I was like, upstate New York. And he's just like, really? I was like, yeah, I'm from like a little bit. Well,
From Viper City.
from Viper City.
Exit 3 on
But-
Northway.
Yeah.
The thing is my dad was a professor at RPI in Troy, so me and my brother went to shows in Troy from babyhood to.
Right. That's something that you and I have bonded over, I feel
I
like,
mean, come on.
in these many years.
You want to talk about how you and I met in San Diego?
You almost caught it. Bad. I was upset.
You have a right to be upset.
I was okay.
I don't buy
so
this.
It's
let me,
just so unlike him.
So
Listen,
wait,
listen.
before we get into it, the funny thing about it is our listeners know that this is like a pattern.
This
Yeah.
Apparently, I have very bad first impressions with
So-
people, and I'm aware of it
also
now.
this story has been told on the podcast before because I heard it.
But not by Paul.
But not
from
by-
I
my-
want to hear
Yeah,
it
yeah,
from
yeah,
the horse
yeah.
himself.
this is exactly what happened. I don't know. I think it was were you on tour Down to Nothing?
No, it was a Life and Death tour.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
The tour was sold out. It was in Chula Vista.
Yeah, weird venue.
Weird venue.
Like,
I'd never been there, so I
Is it
didn't
the
know the
wide one?
It was the only show I ever went
Yes,
to there.
same.
So
I've
I
never
didn't
been back.
know the staff. I didn't know who booked it, and it was like if it was a normal show, I could have just gone and
figured it out.
figured it out. But I hit my brother up and I was like, "Hey, do you work with any of these bands? The show's sold out. I don't want to bug anybody. Can you just do your thing?"
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Yeah, sure. I work with Bo. He's cool. This, that, and the third."
So
I-
you get a text from Tim.
Probably an email, actually.
Probably
an
email
email.
from Tim, and you're immediately like, I got to put this
Right,
guy
of
Paul
course.
on. It's Tim's
So-
brother.
Yeah.
Mind you, this has happened before, not with you, but with other people where they have gotten me into a show, and I always try and be as polite as I can
Of course.
and say, "Thank you for getting me in. I don't want to bug you. Move on."
You're
course.
great. You're a great guy.
And and I get to the show.
Do not bury me.
I
It
get to
sounds
the
like you
show,
were doing a really nice
and,
thing.
And I'm like, "Who's about to play?" And they're like, "Harm's Way's setting up right now." I was like, "Oh, bet." I kind of knew what you looked like, but I wasn't sure. So I was like, "You were."
But it was either me or Jay.
Right. So it was
You
like you 4 feet in front of me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Hey, are you Bo?" And you're like, "Yeah." And I go, "Hey, I'm Tim Dove's brother. You got me in the show. Thank you." And you go, "Okay." Literal guitar on, and you go, okay. And I just went, all right. At the time, listen, at the time, I'm full psychopath. And so, like, just in my life.
Yeah.
Like, and
Is this
I
or
literally
post
went, I go, okay. And I walked outside, and I text my brother, and I go, how bad is this going to look? And he goes, please no. And I go, okay.
Timmy.
And then I don't know. Someone else was with me who's like core adjacent, but also kind of not at all. Was like, what are we doing? And I'm like, nothing.
I feel like there had to have been a miscommunication.
What year was
Listen,
this?
they're probably
2014.
I don't know.
14 or 16. It was one of the two.
There probably
We did
was
two.
a miscommunication. He was probably like, okay, and
I
I was
couldn't hear
like,
anything.
Or he had earplugs in.
no, he didn't.
Or
Paul inspected his ears after.
or there was something going on with my band. That was a really rough tour where a van died. It didn't die yet, I don't think. But that was a very tumultuous tour. Regardless, bigger man.
For about a
Huge
year,
man.
I was like, I'm gonna fucking smoke this dude.
Oh man, I'm so glad you did.
And then I was like, I gotta grow up. That's fine.
I just think if you'd have asked anyone, they would have been like,
I did listen, because my
"Oh no,
good friend John Hollier
legend."
is very good friends with James.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, John, what's up with Bo?
Yeah.
And he was always like, yeah, he's cool. It's fine.
Thank
He's like, he'll be like, I don't really know him super well, but he's cool. Like,
Yeah.
You know, he's always been nice. And I'm like, all right. So then me and John saw you at the casino.
And where were we?
In Tampa. At
2
FYA.
years ago.
2 years ago.
FYA.
Yeah.
The circle is
And
full.
that's and he told me the story, and I was like, nah, that wasn't me.
And I was like,
I was straight up like, there's no way that was me.
I feel like I thought this story happened in like 2008.
I know.
No.
Like it feels ancient. I mean, I guess that is 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's a while ago
But
now.
I saw a tweet the other day that just said, just saw a YouTube video that said posted 5 years ago. That was 2020 and not 2015.
Yeah.
And that's a disgusting perspective.
That's
very See?
Oh shit.
So a couple years later, Missing Link is born. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Finally, about 2 days later, Missing Link, unbelievable band, came out of nowhere. Tell me about the creation, the dawn of Missing Link.
COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Our good friend Victor, he organized everybody. He sent me some songs and he said, I recorded this, let's do it. And I was like, who's gonna be in the band? And he was like,
What do you mean?
he was like, me, you, Evan from Separated, because World of Pain had done a bunch of stuff with Separated. And let's get, or no, he was like, well, us three off the rip. And I was like, okay. And then I texted Evan, I was like, can you kind of rework these songs so we could put it out or something? And he's like, yeah, sure. It's like, okay. And then it was, who's gonna sing? And I was like, I toured with Mike Ryan one time, and he's my dog, so we should have him do it. And he was like, okay. And then we were like, we need bass.
So this was a Paul, you threw Mike's name in the hat.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
He also convinced me to go to barbering school on that Europe tour.
Listen,
So
don't listen to
is
anything
a piece
anybody
of crap,
says.
but he's-
I'm a nice
It
person.
sounds like he's a nice guy.
Sounds like he's a pretty good guy. I can't believe I was such an asshole to
When
him.
it comes to me telling you how it is, I will. But I'll do anything for anybody.
It's true.
Not anybody, my friends.
Right.
he even didn't beat up Bo.
Oh, dude, I was so mad.
But
You had a right to be mad. I would have been mad too.
No, not really. It wasn't that big of a deal. I was just really mad.
So then basically it was us and then Nick
Nick, Killa.
from Pain of Truth.
Right.
Which like at the same time we're like they're recording their
Yeah,
EP
yeah.
and we're just recording like a demo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lumpy takes the Pain of Truth, whatever.
Right.
We didn't even try to shop the demo. I think we just put it out. Literally, worst luck ever.
Yeah.
July 3rd, God's Hate release day. Wasn't it God's
I think
Hate put out a song or something, or
think
maybe
so.
like a record that day?
Our it was April 2021, I think.
Yeah,
Or
that's
March
when.
2021.
What? I don't remember.
the same day?
I
I
don't
wanna say it
remember
was July
what got
3rd.
released like the same day.
Something we did
you know-
was like, I was like, how the fuck
Yeah.
does this happen on the same day?
The whole
It's
year.
Like,
Devastating.
like not,
It wasn't me.
And not even like a band that's popular. It's like the biggest band at the time.
Okay, did something. It wasn't me.
What do you mean?
It wasn't me.
Okay.
It wasn't me.
Put out
July 3rd?
whatever the day was.
I've never done nothing on July 3rd.
Whatever
I
the
save
day
it all
was.
for the 4th.
It's my mom's birthday.
Is it?
Oh.
July 4th.
I've only celebrated Paul's mom's birthday. I didn't do nothing the missing one.
But basically, it was just like, oh, and actually the
I
demo
think
still
what-
did fine. But
Yeah, when we put it out, I don't recall what got put out, but we got smoked.
Yeah, we
by
got-
it
It
for
happened.
sure.
I could swear it was something from God's Hate. 'Cause I'm a fan.
2021?
Was that the year of COVID? I don't know.
No, that was 2020. 2021, our record came out in March or April. I don't got nothing in July.
I don't know, dude. Look, I made
It
that.
wasn't
up, I guess.
me.
I don't know.
We're blaming God's hate.
Yeah, we're blaming
So
God's
I
Hate.
did it.
It was.
I fucked up their demo.
It was Brody.
No, it was
So-
cool. We put that out. We didn't play any shows because we couldn't. And what was it? Oh, our first show
Was a benefit.
was a benefit. Our
My
buddy's wife passed away, and we played a benefit show in Rochester, and then Detroit with Shattered Realm.
was our second show. Like, somebody just brought us out.
That's awesome.
Fuck yeah.
And Joe was like, came up to me afterwards, like, yo, you guys blew me away. I want to bring you to Philly.
Nice.
And I was like, well,
Third
okay.
show.
That's,
Cool.
you know, that's awesome.
That's great.
And he did. I kind of didn't think he was gonna.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of just was like, why would he pick us? Why, you know, like he.
Because you're really good.
At the time,
Oh, yeah. Demo's good.
Well,
Demo's good.
you don't gotta lie.
I'm not lying.
I don't
I
believe
like,
it.
Demo's good.
I like a track, but
I don't like it from the start to the finish.
Really?
I like the
Okay,
demo.
so I don't like anything I've ever recorded as a band with the exception of our record that we put out.
That's beautiful.
Like I can't any recon stuff. Actually, we have some pre-pro stuff we've never put out that I like. And I like that. But any World of Pain stuff can't listen to.
Is that because of your personal performance?
everything about it sonically and
Perfect.
song structure and everything. Yeah.
he's like, I just don't even like this band.
It's awesome.
I don't.
I just hate it.
I will say
I
when we recorded the LP at the end, Paul was like, guys, I just did the first record I've ever liked. Like I like this record. I'm proud of.
I'll put it on.
You should know. You should be. I put it on all the time. It's really good. You did a really good job.
Thanks.
Opening. Yeah. Let's talk about the record.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. You
Recorded in.
February or January?
End of January, first week of February with
At Bricktop.
with
right.
Andy. Yeah.
The man.
The-
How,
We
how
the
did you
best.
find that experience?
amazing.
Yeah.
He's
Couldn't- yeah.
So we Evan wrote 95% of the record.
Sick.
Killa is in the biggest hardcore band in the world right now. So he wrote New York Minute.
He
so,
wrote all of
I
New York
mean,
Minute also.
so actually me and him wrote New York Minute and it was very different, and then he tried to steal it for the Pain of Truth record and was like, it's too heavy, so we're not going to use it. And I was like, brother, that's a good song.
Yeah.
We need this. We're
Yeah.
writing a record right now.
Yeah, yeah.
So we got it, but he wrote that. I think Chris has a couple riffs on the record, but
There we
Evan
go.
pretty much wrote everything, programmed the drums so I could like
Really?
Nice.
It's
get
one
a-
of those. Straight
Nice.
up.
He
Dude,
does it
he's
all,
a
dude.
wizard.
He's amazing.
Does he ever program something that pisses you off?
Always.
Okay.
Is
Sometimes
he,
stuff that
is he
like
a drummer?
A drummer wouldn't play.
No,
It
he's a
doesn't
guitar
really
He's a
make
guitar
sense.
player.
Yeah,
we were
that's-
just talking about
it's
that.
a
China,
it's a play.
hi-hat, snare,
Yeah.
kick, tom at the same time.
Awesome. Yeah, if you could pull it off, that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, he basically, we went back and forth a lot, just him sending it, being like, what if you did this? And same with Mike. And I think I went to Long Island one time to run through some shit. And then we went to the studio.
Yep.
And
Wow.
then
Had never
Andy was
played
like, he's like, you've recorded with Andy.
Yeah, many times.
Was like, hey, you want to get some breakfast and kind of like just chop it up a little bit?
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah. So we sit down. I order my mozzarella sticks at 7:30 in the morning.
Fuck yeah.
normal.
And
Good.
Did he take you to White Palace?
the place
Yeah.
right around the corner.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
White Palace.
We were there.
Triple D went there.
Oh.
Um,
What did he get?
Couldn't tell you.
we went there every day.
Every
But
day.
It's open 24 hours and was through COVID. So
I'll do it.
Andy was like, he's like, so he goes, how you feeling about the record? And I mean,
There
you
was no
guys have
record.
talked to me before. I go, I've never played the songs. And he goes, huh? And I go, no, seriously. I was like, I've never played all of this. I was like, I've played 4 of them. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, his face was scared.
Yeah.
It was like, how are we gonna get this done?
Yeah.
And then I tracked all the drums in a day.
Yeah,
Oh,
he had the. He
And
didn't
it
know.
was like, I went somewhere. I was like, I got to go to the gym. I'm like stressed out because we had never done any of this stuff. I'm writing everything, and then like songs are. I'm not kidding. They didn't send me new demo versions of songs that are now different. So I can't record because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
And you don't need singer nitpicking drums, you know, on recording day. You
I would.
do that?
I wouldn't.
No, it wasn't that.
You're
It
good,
was
man.
like, hey, remember how you wrote lyrics for this song that's like 2 minutes long? We added 35
Oh,
seconds to
perfect.
the
Yeah,
song.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
I feel like I'm pretty wordy.
Yeah.
And it's in like in my mind, the song has to make sense.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, you can't just delete 30 seconds, dude.
Sure.
What do I do now?
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Stories change.
So every day, literally. So every day I was like going to the gym, quads,
Oh,
amazing gym.
damn. Yeah.
Chugging a Gorilla Mind energy drink
Sure.
and kind of lifting, but mostly writing. To like
I was done.
now do scratch tracks.
I was
Sure.
you know, and
Kicking
then
your
go
feet
and be
The
like,
rough mixes.
I think I got 2 songs done, you know, and then
Yeah.
like, so I'm like, I had a ton of stuff written, but piecing stuff together and like to the new versions of songs that I've like literally never heard.
Right.
Did you do vocals in the little guitar sliding glass room or in the
Did it
big
in the
room?
big room.
Big room, yeah. I love that studio.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I didn't understand. I didn't know he played in Nachos.
Yeah.
And I love that band. And like I kept hearing all of these recordings coming out of the studio, and I'm like, one, why does all the heavy parts sound to whatever band sound insane? The drum production is so cool. Like, this is sick. And then it was like, oh, he plays guitar in Weekend Nachos, and I was like, oh, he gets heavy music.
Yeah.
Okay. And then his like repertoire of who he's recorded is insane.
I sat down with him like the first day after they tracked drums, and he was like talking about some band, and I was like, "Oh, have you ever heard of this band?" And he's like, "Oh, I recorded that record." And that happened like 50. Like,
Yeah.
there's a band from Chicago called Lord Mantis that I love.
yeah.
We love Lord Mantis.
Like-
So we asked him
Like-
to do the Disharmony tour. We couldn't afford it.
yeah, we
Dude.
couldn't. Yeah, we
That is
we.
a level of like.
Yeah.
Now you see where I'm coming from.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I
that's
really
the
do.
shit that I fuck with.
That's
And the record he did rock.
dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
Did he do Death Mask?
He
He did the one after.
After.
That.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
to
The
me,
Death
I
Mask
was
mosh
like,
part
dude,
is one of the hardest parts.
Dude.
He turned me
ever
on to Lord
written.
Mantis a
That
couple
is
years
so
ago, and I
sick.
was like,
I have to like, I'll be driving like 6 hours
gotta
home from
pull
somewhere in the
over.
middle of the night, and I'm like scrolling through what to listen to, and I'm like,
Oh, no.
we're not going here tonight.
No, no.
Like, I can't, like this is gonna get way too dark.
That's not a band I talk about because I plan on stealing that part someday, and I
Totally.
don't want
Dude.
people to know that.
They-
we've already
drums.
stole it, dude.
Okay.
They
good.
practice
Good
in
drums.
our practice space. They're in the same building. The first,
Do you
not
ever
the
just sit outside and you're like,
no, dude. That's the other thing is they're just like phantoms. They're rare.
Yeah.
I've barely
Is the
seen
same
them.
guy sing?
Yeah.
Dude,
That guy's a sick fuck.
controversial
Sicko.
guy.
Yeah, I don't know anything about
Yeah.
it. I just know
We've
he sounds
done-
fucked up.
Arms Way's done 6 records with Andy, or 6 recordings.
Wow.
I'm jealous.
Like all the earlier ones. Did he ever take you to Jim's original pork chop sandwiches?
he wanted
Yeah, he
to,
wanted
I think,
to.
but there was like,
I'm
I don't know.
dying.
we broke his like his cardinal rule of don't play a show.
Oh,
That weekend,
And we played 2 in one day.
Yeah.
So
Really?
on Saturday,
but we were done.
but we were done. So
But we didn't know we were gonna. We fucked up, and so sorry, Andy. We thought we were supposed to be done completely by Saturday, but Andy, we just fucked the dates up, and it was actually like the end of Sunday.
Ah.
So we booked this show in Chicago, and it sold out in like an hour in this really tiny room. And then Anshit's like, let's do another bigger one,
Yeah.
same night. So like, you think? He's like, yeah. And then that one sold out. So it was like,
Nice.
and it was awesome.
fuck yeah.
And he's like, he wasn't mad at us. He was like, it happens.
was-
He's like, but I need you
he-
guys to come.
he was mad until the drums were done. When he got
Well-
because Evan used to own a studio on Long Island.
On.
Very good. Well done.
Good save.
He used to own a studio, so he is a recording pro.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was just me, Evan, and Mike until
For the
like
first 3 days.
Thursday. So it was like when the drums were done and Evan was just like a take machine.
Yeah.
I think Andy was like, "It's cool, you guys."
Yeah.
have a show."
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, it was. We were ahead of schedule. I think.
Yeah.
Even me, like I was really worried my voice wasn't going to hold up, and it was like I think I did 3 songs the first day, and then from there was like 2 or 3 every day.
That's
The way
a
he
lot.
splits it up is cool.
Good
Yeah,
shit.
he did it. Like I was really out because I feel like I've done demos before where I was like my voice just blown in like 10 seconds.
Sure.
But recording with him was such a everything was right, and I kind of made sure I did everything that I could to, you know. So.
And how hands-on was he with the record? Because you said it was very thoroughly demoed. You had played the songs once.
As far as like producing,
or nonce for some of them, yeah. In terms of like song structures or how they all turned out.
Not really song structure, like almost at all. There was a couple things that I came in, I was like, "Yo, guys, we're playing this for like 2 minutes." Like, no, and he could literally sit there and in like 1 second, like, I deleted the whole thing.
Oh, isn't that great?
Like, I'm like, what? I thought we had to retrack everything.
Yeah.
Like, nope.
You recorded to a click?
No.
Really?
I asked him.
My man.
So,
But to be able to delete something so clean is crazy.
but I asked him and I said, hey, I'll record to a click or I won't record to a click. I prefer without because I think it sucks the vibe out of
Vibe's
it.
gone.
Yeah.
And he was like, we can do whatever. And I go, cool, no click. But then we re-recorded 2 Cent, which was recorded to a click, and we reused Brody's guest spot from the old one.
Did you have to
and
morph it a little?
No, it fit perfect.
I asked Andy, and I go, hey, did you have to massage that in? He goes, not at all. And I was like, I'm the fucking
Perfect.
man, dude.
like
Metrodamus.
I sent, I texted Brody and I'm like, hey, would you be down to this again? He's like, of course, but I'm this busy. You know?
Yeah.
We were like really trying to get the record out.
Right.
And I said, well, hey, we have this still. Like, we found the stems. I think Taylor had the stems. And
No.
yeah.
No, because Taylor didn't record him.
Didn't he mix it?
No. He did mix it. The studio in
Georgia
Atlanta?
or something?
Detroit, where he
whoever had
recorded
it.
it. Some random studio I
Just had
found
it.
on the internet.
They
He
sent
was
it
like, I
over.
have time before my whatever.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
I'll go do it. And I
That's
was
awesome.
like, cool.
Before the death
And he
match.
was like, I will re-record it. And I was like, well, we have this. Let's just see what it sounds like. He's like, I think I'm going to prefer to re-record it, but whatever. And then I sent it to him. He's like, oh, it's perfect. Never mind.
Perfect. It rocks.
Andy, which I don't think he'll mind me sharing this now, quit smoking clean turkey, which is fucking crazy because he's
Clean
like
turkey or cold turkey?
Cold turkey
Clean
because he's clean now. Cold turkey.
I like clean turkey a little better.
during recording. It would be like
Chimney?
couple tracks, chimney inside.
Inside.
Couple
I
tracks,
feel like with
chimney
us,
inside.
I think he was,
He was
hitting
on the
vape.
Jewel, but
He's
he
on the
quit.
Jewel.
He quit the Jewel too.
He quit everything.
Yeah.
It's really impressive. I'm very proud.
Good
of him.
for you, Andy.
Dude,
Very proud of him.
He's the coolest guy.
He's very
Any
good.
band
Straight
that's
up.
like, we're going to record at Bricktop, I'm like, I'm so jealous, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, I
That's
just
why I
want to
hang out
go.
with Andy,
I want to
honestly.
go hang out in the loft. It's like
I
summer
don't think I've
camp.
ever met him.
Really?
Yeah.
He is the
at
nicest
Sound Pure or
guy.
anything? Yeah.
Nicest guy ever.
Beautiful. So the recording experience was great. Watch Me Bleed is the album of the year on the most prestigious award show
We did it.
online. Tell me, what else can you tell me about putting the record together? What else can you tell me about the tours that Missing Link has done since the record has been out?
We did.
We did one tour ever
Nice.
in Europe.
Europe.
Hell yeah.
Is that the Triple B Super Tour?
Gridiron, us, Never Ending Game, Scarab, Magnitude, best tour ever.
Big.
That
tour.
was this summer?
Yeah.
This summer, right? So we were really trying to rush to get the record out so we could, when we toured, it was in support of it,
Right.
and it worked because we put it out like a month to the day before we left. I think.
Yeah.
And we played Ypres together.
And
Yeah.
we played Ypres together.
I wasn't
But
there.
you
You
were
weren't
not
there?
there.
I was with you.
He was with me.
And it was cool because we the first day of tour was Outbreak, or the second day of
Second
tour was
day.
Outbreak Fest, and
Yeah.
our set was in, like, people sing, like, Missing Link was not a sing along band really
Sure.
at all prior
Same.
to
Yeah.
this record. Like, you'd get a couple kids, but it's like, for me, that's what I always want the most of. Like, of
course.
moshing's cool, but it's like, I like the pylon.
You're a
shit.
lyric man.
Yeah, especially for like a heavy band, because that's kind of rare.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And so it's like, to me, that's cool because I'm like, oh, people get both halves. Of,
I mean, also too, that tour was cool because we've all done a million tours, and there's always like, oh man, like this dude's acting kind of funny today, like he's in a bad mood or whatever. Everyone on that tour, vibes
Awesome.
were
awesome.
skyrocketing
Beautiful.
every single
Just happy all
day,
like everyone.
which was
Well,
amazing.
and you guys hate touring Europe.
well, I've never
Well,
done it in a circle.
You
But all
guys,
the
and you guys
shows-
did it on a bus, right?
We did it on a
Yeah.
bus,
All
the
which
shows
makes a
were
lot
great.
of
Very
I've never
the
had
shows
that
were great,
experience.
and everybody was like, it was a lot of the guys' first time in Europe.
So
the
starry
energy
eyes
is-
everywhere.
And they were super. Everybody was just grateful to be there. Even like that was my third time in Europe, and I was like, "This is so cool."
I've been
to do
there.
I
it.
think I would feel that way if I went back.
You know?
I went I've gone, I don't want to say full circle, but like I've been there a bunch. And now at my old age, I will not say how old I am. I'm like there, and I'm like, brother, we're in fucking. We're in Luzerne, Switzerland
up,
right
dude.
now.
I did not appreciate it when I was
And that
19,
was the thing. When I was
21.
18, 19, going there, I was like, man, it's crazy. I'm here. Let me see if I could steal from this place.
Yeah.
And like that was like the highlight.
I
But
got
it was
to
like,
email my girlfriend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Where's
I
the
was-
fucking
had
Wi-Fi?
to email my girlfriend.
We just had a group of guys that were committed to doing fun shit outside of the show too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like wake up in the morning, hop on a scooter, go get a good coffee, and
That's
then
the best.
explore.
Yeah.
And it's
So-
like when you're committed to the adventure,
Yeah.
it's way more fun.
We're going back in a couple of months with Knocked Loose, who are dear friends, on a bus. So I'm looking very much looking
Gonna
forward
be
to that.
awesome.
That's going to be great.
Because it's like, dude, you wake up to like, it's 8 a.m. You're wherever.
yeah.
You got to be
gotta
back here by
stretch.
4 or 5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can go have fun.
Got the whole day.
And also being an adult and you have money,
Yeah,
like where
it's
you
different.
can like
Yeah.
go like.
I had negative $43
We also-
every time I've
We
ever
That's what I
also-
mean. If you go as like an adult, where
Yeah.
you, I don't care about spending $100 today to do whatever I want.
Yeah.
I have positive $43.
this was the vibe of the tour. We would wake up in the morning, go do fun shit all day, play a show.
Do you have a
where we-
favorite fun thing you did?
Just scootering.
I mean,
in
scooters
general.
are
Honestly,
unbelievable, dude.
Swimming in that river, yeah,
Swimming in
Lucerne,
Luzerne,
Switzerland.
Switzerland, with the mountains, snow-covered mountains, but it was like nice and hot, and it was like a good cool off. I was like,
You're
we're
just in
doing
like a
the
perfect
coolest.
place.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is
But,
paradise.
Matt
but we-
Carl just shirtless,
we get to
Glorious.
taking it in.
we
dude.
would like get to the show, and everyone would be like, I don't care if the show sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
'cause we
And
had
then
so
the
much
show
fun.
would be badass, and we'd
It'd
be
be
like,
awesome.
man. And then we'd get back on the bus and sing karaoke in the fucking thing until like 3 in the
Dude.
morning. We'd be like,
Unbelievable.
like
Man, this is
screen,
the
like
best.
every seat taken
Lot of
downstairs,
Oh, yeah.
blaring
Banger.
Crossfade, Creed, going in, and the bus driver just hating it.
Oh,
But he was cool.
Hungarian?
German.
Let's see.
German. I forgot his name. We all called him PP Man because on the first Triple B bus tour, I was also on that for a bit. He was not very cool.
Peter
I
Law?
think he just hated Michael from Pain of Truth. I think because Mike gets on his fucking little demon time, you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and I think he just hated him and just like
He was great with us.
he was pretty cool.
He's
with
very
us.
German.
Yeah.
Very, like
Yeah.
blunt,
Just
but
pee
he was.
everywhere or what?
We just I don't know.
I don't
His
know why
name
they
is
call him
his name is Pierre.
Oh,
Not Pierre, but Pierre.
Pierre.
Shout out Pierre.
Pierre.
You're never gonna see this, but
What he
He,
does.
uh,
He's like, I heard they
never
call
know,
me Pee Pee
man.
Man.
he knows. We would call him PP
Yeah, I
Man to
know.
his face. He'd be like, "Who?" He'd be like, "Nothing."
There is das Pipi Man.
But that's
So, yeah.
the only tour we've
We
done.
did that, and then we've done weekends. Like that's kind of our thing is fly, play
Making it work.
California,
Man,
doing stuff.
I can do whatever.
Yeah.
But
I gotta-
Everybody
I
got
gotta-
jobs.
I own a barbershop. He
I
owns
own
a
a
barbershop,
barbershop.
but he has a child.
Yeah, I got a 5-year-old.
I'll do it.
Hi, Owen.
Oh,
Owen.
good name.
Look at
Strong
your dad's
name.
hair. It's unbelievable.
He knows.
Evan's like basically domesticated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris
Everyone's busy.
manages AMH.
He's in internal bleeding.
He's
Plays
in internal bleeding.
Fuck yeah.
And
Nixon
then
Pen Truth.
precisely.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So everyone's doing. So we make it work,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a band.
and
We got some stuff coming up this summer.
yeah,
Got some stuff
And
coming
this
up this fall.
fall.
Talk to me about the greatest collaboration track in possibly ever.
Numbers on the board.
The GridLink collaboration.
Okay. You guys, I'm not a big video game guy, but I did have Mega Man X.
We literally play video games together. By the way,
I play Call of Duty. I play Call of Duty.
Every
That's
day.
it.
That's not
That's
a
the
video
only
game.
video
That's
game
a
I
sport.
play.
Okay.
I
It's
play
an
Call of
electronic
Duty.
sport.
I don't play any. I'm not interested in any other video game.
You should try Fortnite.
Okay, dude. That's like people
That's me.
catchphrases on
Yeah.
Call of Duty.
That's
when
you
they're
getting
pissed. I was like, okay, dude.
Okay, dude.
My Call of Duty career is I'm either getting like 8, 9 kills, having a pretty good game, or 0.
0 kills, 0 damage.
Yeah.
How did that
Not
happen?
0
I'm with you.
damage. That has never happened.
We're the same.
Disrespectful.
All right, so,
No,
so
okay.
back to the track.
So you played Mega Man X.
Sure.
Yeah.
For Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
Okay, that was one game me and my brother had when we were kids. And
I have no idea how this ties in.
listen,
I'm interested.
so in that game, you would beat like a boss, and then it'd be like, surprise, there's another
Oh,
boss.
Yeah.
So
Second phase boss.
Evan wrote this song that just had like 4 different changes, and I was like, it's like you think the song is done,
The
and then
Yeah.
the next
Done.
boss comes out and
Yeah.
is like,
Yeah.
surprise. So I go, that's the vibe of the song. And then it was like, instead of having one guest spot, let's have, I mean,
They all have awesome
Mully
voices.
has a great voice. Fucking
X.
Lennon wouldn't be on it because he's a hater. Everyone has sick
Who
voices.
is a singer.
Right.
So.
Who has
An
a sick
awesome
voice.
voice, too.
But he refused to do it because he's a jerk.
Unreal.
And I was like, let's have the whole band on it.
Yeah.
And not just Matt Cole.
It's genius.
And it's like, it's kind of funny because I think it might be our longest song. It feels pretty long.
Because it
to
goes
me.
pit to pit to pit to pit.
Yeah.
Well,
nice.
it's got 4 verses.
Oh,
That's like
interesting.
insane to
That
me.
is
Yeah.
not-
That's rap.
You don't
songs.
need 3.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
You
And it's
get
like-
we
We
need found
but
4.
we need them all.
Yeah.
We need them all.
There's a couple tracks on the record where I was like, I don't really need, like, not every song needs to be deep.
No.
Sure.
There can just be like,
But sometimes that third verse to help you like
No, I'm not-
And
I'm
here's
not
why I
saying-
said all that. It's
yeah, but I'm
important,
saying
you
like
know?
a lot of the tracks that I write are like deep in some way.
Sure.
Even if they're whatever. So this
To
one,
you.
like Glory or Death, I was like, I just want to write a song where I go back and forth with Chris. That one was no lyrics written by, like, they gave me the song and I
Oh.
wrote it.
Side note, sorry to cut you off. Chris McCarthy, vocally, one take master.
Everything.
Everything is one
Like,
take.
not like,
Crushed it.
not like one take a line, whole song.
Whoa.
Whole song.
He's an animal.
Glory or Death, whole song, front to back.
Outstanding.
No
He gets-
pauses.
he gets to the
Just
end.
He just goes, I got this.
He gets to the
like,
end of the
okay.
song. Me and Andy are just looking at each other, and we're like, "That was it."
And then we go in
beautiful.
and he plays it back and it's perfect. All right,
Yeah.
back to the.
How'd I do, guys?
So yeah, he's like, no, he goes, yeah, fuck yeah. So we,
That's awesome.
so I'm like, all right, we want to write this song, and like everybody in Gridiron agrees to do it,
Yeah.
which is besides Lennon.
Except for Lennon.
So yeah, we're like writing. I'm like, I just kind of want it to be like a rap song,
Yeah.
but a hard rap song.
Sure.
And
It worked.
my part is not exactly like rapping. I feel like I rap more on other songs really than that one, even if there's like a rap cadence. But then when Carl sent his stuff over and it's like 2 just rap, I was like, there's 4 verses. Like there's so many lyrics in that song. It's actually insane. But it all seems to work.
Does it suck when you have to do it?
No,
And
'cause
nobody
I
said
changed the
help you?
lyrics a little bit.
Oh, that's cool.
So, you know.
Because that's his story, you know? That's Carl. You're not.
Yeah, most of it is the same, but it's like, I'm not going to say I'm from Boyertown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you
You
can't
know.
do that.
When
not,
Yeah.
very rarely will I listen to a record, particularly a heavy record, and rewind to hear what they said. And when you sent it to me, it was like
It's a good sign.
I didn't even
I
know
just
what
kept doing it.
Matt said until like maybe a month ago. I was like, "What did he say?" And he's listing off like gun brands.
Yeah,
and
guns.
I
We
was
had,
Yeah.
we had an idea we were going to do a shirt because we wanted to do a GridLink collab shirt. And he was like, we could do Ruger and Taurus and Glock and Smith and Sig GridLink. Like, you know, the and shirts?
Yeah.
And we're like, it'd be hilarious, but none will sell.
Sell
I
about
disagree.
12 of those.
I
Sell
don't.
that to the worst 10 guys in
Yeah.
the room.
Me, Alec.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, it was honestly just a song to have fun.
Will
awesome.
was the last one to put his little spice on it, and
You
he
can
like
hear his
ad-lib.
from a mile away all day.
he was like, "You really want me on this?" I was like, I sent him a voicemail. I was like, "I need you on this
Yeah.
song," and he was like, "All right."
His voice makes songs.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a good touch. And like, if you listen close, there's an ad lib where he goes, "All right," like in the background. That's like, now when you hear it, you're never gonna be like. I have a sound clip of it on Discord, so I can just spam it.
Yeah.
All right.
Like,
So
it's,
all right.
it's so good.
Beautiful. Well, let's Watch Me Bleed. It's an incredible record. Album of the year. Most prestigious award
We did
show
it.
in history. Paul's mom, July 4th. He did it. Pardon this interruption, please. But trust me, it's so important because your life is falling apart, your body's falling apart, and AG1 is the only thing that can help you at this point.
Do you just come up with
It's-
that like off the top of your head?
Yeah, if I stop now, it's gonna leave forever.
Sorry.
So
Go for it.
You know what else will leave forever is your health if you don't take care of your body. So why don't you start every morning with a scoop of this nice little green powder? 16 ounces, 12, even 12 is fine. Cold water. You shake it up, you suck it down, you know you're going to have a better day. You're going to may feel more energized than if you had a cup of coffee.
Let me ask you, can you do that on an empty stomach, Colin?
100%. You should.
Really?
Yeah, man. It's the best way to start our day. We do it every day. We feel that it is providing us the proper nutrients that we've been missing our entire lives as touring musicians, as traveling guys.
And let me ask you, where can I order this?
You can go to drinkag1.com/hardlore. That's right. New year, new URL.
And what?
Try it now, please, God.
What do I get if I use that link in particular?
You get 5 free travel packs, a year's supply of vitamin D and K.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna have to check for yourself because I'm hearing there's some new goodies for you on there.
Wow.
So please go to drinkag1.com/hardlore. We love working with them.
Mm-hmm.
We love drinking what they got. Our bodies are green on the inside. It's beautiful, metaphorically speaking. Don't sue us. This episode is also brought to you by Manscaped.
Manscaped, baby. Woo!
2 years running. This is a Manscaped show.
Straight up.
We smell so good. Even right now, we're in the privacy of our own homes.
Mm-hmm.
Balls are emanating floral goodness. Floral balls is what it's all about.
Don't know how to respond to that. There's a myriad of Manscaped products that I use every single day, from the body scrubber, which is, I decided, is my actual favorite. Exfoliates, feels good, makes me feel clean. Made out of silicone.
And you pair that with the body wash. You pair that with the crop cleanser. You're clean in ways never before imaginable.
You can,
Imagine going back time and giving Ben Franklin's nasty ass the Manscaped box, you know?
watch out for the syphilis. Hook them up with a lawnmower.
Wash your balls. He would have lived forever, and who knows how many more presidential terms he would have lived to serve,
Damn it.
you know? It's unbelievable. And you could be just like Ben Franklin if we went back and gave him Manscaped. If you go to manscaped.com/manscaped.com and use code HardLore, you're going to get 20% off and free shipping.
Men Franklin, dude.
More like Manscaped, Franklin.
Straight up. Whew.
This episode is also brought to you by Mad Vintage.
You guys, listen, this is fucking serious. Colin and I don't have room.
Yeah.
You have to go to Mad Vintage and start buying your shit. And
We're gonna work with him as long as he wants to, and God willing, we've got one closet each.
we're sick in the heads mutually. And listen, I know you don't have room in your place either. You know what he's doing? He's buying stuff. Get in contact with Mad Vintage, MADD Vintage on Instagram.
He's gonna give you a fair price for that old shirt you don't want anymore, and then I'm gonna buy it from him.
Mm-hmm.
Bo's gonna buy it from him, etc. It's gonna be great. If you watch the show regularly, you know what we're all about. You know what we listen to. He's got it for you.
Straight up.
Okay.
Yep. 100%.
Hardcore, metal, punk, movies, hip hop, everything in between. Check it out. You're gonna see something you've been looking for your entire life on there. And you're going to want 15% off, trust me, because it's probably expensive. So use code HardLore15 right now. I'll wait. Back to the episode. Let me ask you guys a crazy question. You can take your time.
Okay.
Many people need time. Could you tell me your top 4 hardcore records of all time?
We're both going to say 100 Demons in the Eyes of the Lord.
Great answer.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's
going to differ greatly here.
But that's a great start.
Well, yeah, In the Eyes of the Lord, Satisfaction.
Stay in Connecticut, baby. I'm loving it.
4.
I'm going to say, just because I have multiple Earth Crisis tattoos. So Gomorrah Season Ends.
So you go Gomorrah number 1.
Well, now that I think about it, I would probably say...
Breed the Killers, dude.
Really?
I wouldn't say
Dude.
Breed the Killers.
Destroy the Machine.
I would say All Out War,
Respect.
even though it's
They're
not a whole
all
record.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His voice sounds
Destroy the
then-
Breed
Machine
the Killers is
Sounds
insane.
insane.
Underrated.
Probably
Ultra Militants?
unbelievable.
It sounds the best. It's the best
the
product.
discography of Judge.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Including,
So that's 4?
including that last 7-inch?
No, but but yeah.
Good answer.
So that's 4?
Great answer.
I'm going to
4,
go
yeah.
In the Eyes of the Lord. If you could pick a whole discography, I think I'd put the whole Trapped Under Ice discography.
Dude, that's a good one.
But
That's a good one.
But
Like
I'm
throwing
gonna
into
say,
the
These aren't records, but I really like that.
I'm going to say literally any of them. But I'll just say
changes,
Stay
though.
Cold. Yeah, it changes.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say Stay Cold.
I love it.
Yeah.
If from there, Blood for Blood, Spit My Last Breath.
Great answer, Mike.
I could say Blood for Blood, Revenge on Society,
Great
but I
answer,
won't because I
Mike.
already said
Yeah, yeah.
Blood for Blood. Now it gets difficult because there's so many.
But you can only have one.
Take all your time.
Biohazard, Urban Discipline.
You're an urban discipline man.
Yeah, I one time I sent in the band group chat, like, guys, has there ever been 4 tracks in a row better than the 4 opening tracks on Urban Discipline? And one of the guys in the band just sent the meme that's like, let's get you back to bed, Frank. I'm like, do you guys not get it?
I
don't know.
think the better 4-track run is first 4 on State of the World Address, frankly.
Dude, I love them both.
I do get.
I love them both. But I like Chamber Spins 3.
Yeah.
But
into
also, I don't know,
punishment.
because tomorrow I would pick a total. Like, I
Yeah.
could
That's
say
the
Peace and
thing, it's
Security
like,
and be like,
I will
that's
always-
That's
also the best
undeniable.
record ever.
Yeah.
You know?
That's on
In my top 4, In the Eyes of the Lord will always be there.
Love
and
it.
then it's like
Maybe.
it'll just change.
And that's
No, we're locking them in.
All right, I'm going to go Stay Cold and Secrets of the World.
Okay.
And I'm going to get rid of Biohazard. I think.
wow.
Oh!
Wow.
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
mean-
we've ever had someone choose 2 of the same band.
I
But
could,
here's the thing,
I
you're gonna
could
pick 2
truly
directors.
do Demo, Stay Cold, Big Kiss Goodnight, Secrets of the World in a row and be like, I'm fine. I could never listen to anything else.
I really respect that, Mike.
Like, I really, In the Eyes of the Lord is, but I just think, for me, the time I grew up in, I don't
Yeah.
think there was ever a more prolific.
No.
Like,
No, they
the,
defined
They're
the
the
Demo
band.
and
the
Stay Cold came out.
2010s.
Yeah.
People changed how they dressed.
Yep.
They changed how they. Everything was different.
It killed melodic hardcore once
So,
and for all.
Thank
Thank God.
Amen.
Deuces.
Amen.
Hate it.
Let me ask you guys something really, really important. Do you, in upstate, scary place,
The scariest.
do you believe in ghosts?
I used to go ghost hunting with my brother.
Now you're cooking, Paul. Did
Oh,
you find
wow.
any?
Yeah. I
See?
think, okay. We called it Pinewood Cemetery in Troy,
It's horrifying.
but it's not called Pinewood Cemetery. I don't know what it's called. We all called it that, and I thought it was called that.
Pinewood, scary cemetery.
Everyone
So
would
I'm
know
with
in the area would be like Pinewood Cemetery. They'd be like, yeah, in Troy. To get in, it's closed. It's a closed cemetery. They decommissioned it or
Yeah,
whatever.
right.
you. Which is bad sign.
Next to it's a golf course. So to get in, you have to drive in the golf course.
Definitely haunted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Golf courses.
Golf courses are fucked.
We would go ghost hunting, and we were in high school, but we could drive. So we're sitting on a golf cart track.
Yeah.
You'd have to drive your car down them and then
God.
get in.
It's very scary.
Mind you, this is a golf course that's very open. Lights were on, but very open, just,
Yeah.
rolling, whatever. There is a car-sized cloud coming down the pathway from, like, very far away. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, does everybody else see this?
Yeah.
And my brother is like, the fuck is that? Everyone in the car starts freaking out, and it's getting super, super close to us. It stops in front of one of the car that was ahead of us, maybe like 20 feet off of it, and then we all scream and back our cars up and fucking leave. But like, this isn't it
I was
stayed.
freaked out.
It stayed on the fucking thing and stopped, and
I've never heard of
Everyone-
a spectral
Spectral vehicle.
automobile.
everyone in
This
the
is
car
unbelievable.
saw it. Everyone was like, "What the fuck was that?" And then we all like were really quiet and freaked out and went
Yeah.
home. And then there was another time I was.
So you guys just didn't talk about it.
We did. We were like, "What the fuck was that?" And I was like, "I don't know what that
Yeah.
was." No one was tired, Bo.
Wait,
No one was
Are you
wide
are
awake.
you a ghost believer and
Oh.
you're not? Okay. And
all
you're
in.
you're totally like, no.
I do believe that people have experienced things that we don't know how to explain yet, which I know is kind of a
Do you
cop
believe
out.
in aliens?
You don't believe in it?
I do believe in aliens. But I don't think it's like Casper. I don't think it's a
Yeah.
ghost.
So
Terrible movie.
There is a hotel I stayed at north of Salt Lake City that is
already haunted.
known to be a haunted
Sold.
hotel.
Yeah.
There's a elevator there that they'll be like, yeah, this age-old story, this lady like killed herself on the whatever floor, blah blah blah. So like the elevator goes up to that floor, waits doors open, doors close, and it goes down to the lobby, and it just keeps going. And there's like elevator union people that was like, we don't know.
They're like, buddy,
why
we
the
can't
elevator,
fix it.
why the elevator does it. We're on holiday. We
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
But
We're gonna need
that place
triple
was
time.
fucked up because you can go up to like the door and everything, and it's just very
you've been
bad
there?
vibes. I went there.
I
There,
believe- I
in-
believe-
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
why
Were
you guys should do a ghost hunting expedition where you convince Bo by showing
tried.
him.
Buddy, I've tried.
Okay.
How many?
We're like
Have you
5
tried
deep.
to-
we have like 5 hauntlors.
what if you
Okay.
scare the shit out of them so bad?
Yeah.
So, do you know the
He shits
story
his
about
pants.
Furnace Fest?
No, there's no way he knows.
I would do a quick retelling.
Sure.
We stayed at a hotel. We grabbed a book when we were at Furnace Fest in Birmingham, Alabama, that was called Haunted Alabama, and on the front was the Sloss
Furnace
Furnace.
It was Furnace Fest.
Was the
It was the furnace.
Cursed.
Was on the front, and then the back was hotel.
wherever we were
Wherever.
staying.
oh,
Just on a
and
fluke.
you were elated.
I was like, this
But
is
on a
huge.
fluke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
totally
completely-
random. Totally random.
You
And-
didn't. I don't know.
and
No, I
in-
had no idea.
It was at Walgreens. And then on the chapter on the hotel, it said if you, at the 4th floor, certain rooms, there's like a knocking at night. We were on the 4th floor.
Oh my god.
This
I
is
would've-
true.
I would have already been sick.
Now the thing that's fucked up
Is this
was
the knocking thing?
it's the knocking
Okay.
thing. I got out of the shower and I heard, and it's 2 a.m.
just Kevin Discord.
and I straight up in a towel. I like open the door and there's like a hallway and I think he's gonna be like hiding and waiting. I waited 5 minutes with the door open, just waiting because I knew he would have to go back to his room. I got dressed, went to his room. I could hear him listening to YouTube or something.
You know I'm always listening to YouTube.
So
can't stop.
it was either him and he's still not admitting.
No. So
Or-
you got to remember this. You were in my room all day, all night. I didn't know what your room number was ever.
That's not. We had mentioned it.
We never discussed his room.
Also, he could be like, "Hey, what's the room number for the guy
They
in our
would never
reservation?"
tell me that.
This guy. But we also had a cameraman with us who
He was shy.
he's a little shiesty.
So you think you might have gotten?
Because well, it
No,
happened
I
to you
think
too.
it was a Spectre.
You got knocked on
Okay.
too, right?
Yeah, but that was you.
That
Dude, I mean, I lived in Florida for a little over a year.
haunted.
Scary place.
That's
and
the only
I
place
lived
that's actually haunted.
in this little town called Micanopy, which is the oldest
Scary already.
town, one of the oldest
Stop it.
towns in Florida.
Oh,
And I
I thought you were going to
lived
say in the world.
no, and I lived in like this back cottage. And one night, there was an upstairs where the bedroom was upstairs and down. It was a very small place. I'm like, yo, someone has opened the door had a distinct open noise and
Yeah.
all this other shit, and it was a very silent house, and I was like, someone is in my house right now. So I cleared the house, and I was like, someone's in my fucking house right now, and I think I text John or someone, and I was like, yo,
Are you screaming?
No, I was like, are you at the house right now? Because I believe he owns the property. I'm not sure. But at any rate, and he was like, no, I texted a couple people because I kept hearing shit.
Oh,
I
shit.
was like, there are people in my fucking house downstairs before I went downstairs. And everyone's like, I'm home. I'm here. I'm this. I'm like, all right. So I like literally cleared my house I had my flashlight on my phone as a flashlight, but I recorded the whole thing by
Nice.
accident.
Oh,
So it's
shit.
just me clearing my house. And
Do you still
that
have it?
footage.
Were you
I
screaming?
don't. I might have it on my on an old. I don't have the old phone anymore.
Were you saying, motherfucker? I'm fucking you.
No, I was silent.
This is
I was silent, but
I would be.
maybe I have it on.
Have you heard the story of New York Minute?
No.
Oh,
What? It's like a good.
Please,
This is like a great
come on.
segue into
Please.
Unbelievable.
So basically, my
This
wife
is
and I
you're
buy
just a
this house.
freak.
Yeah, but I'm also like I don't believe in ghosts, and then I'm like I'm not going in the basement by myself.
Yeah, same.
So
I mean, same. That's just
it's
good
like
sense.
I kind of believe in energy.
I'm
know
with
what I
you.
mean?
See?
So, all right. So me and my wife, we buy this house, we move into the neighborhood, whatever, and in the middle of the night, I'm literally like laying in bed and I sleep naked,
No.
and I'm like
Full on.
full on naked.
The basement of his house is a little spooky.
But I literally hear like something that sounds like my garage, the wall behind my bed is like the garage,
Yeah.
right? And I hear something, I'm like,
And what's your address?
someone is in my garage. Like I can hear them in my garage.
Like someone's stealing my car or something.
So, well, we don't park in there, but someone's. I'm crazy enough that if you're in my house in any capacity, like I have a kid, like you're,
Yeah,
It's also
you're going to the cemetery.
Yeah.
It's also Rochester, which is a
yeah,
terrible place.
Okay.
Yeah, where I live is very chill, but it's not great, and I'm paranoid. So I wake up and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I get up and you can't really see out because it's dark and there's lights in the house, whatever. So I'm like, all right, fuck this. I walk to my closet, get my gun, and I'm just clearing my house, and I'm like, okay, that's weird. There's no one in the, like I open the garage like,
Yeah. It's happening.
yeah.
Are you still naked?
I'm naked.
Yeah.
That's
the way-
horrifying.
That's the only way.
Because in my mind,
the poor burger.
as an assailant, seeing you naked.
I'm like, well, here's the thing. It's like, I'm not going to take the time to get dressed
No.
if I think someone's here.
Yeah, of course.
So I go to the garage and there's like no one. So I'm like, okay, I peek out the back door. I'm like, all right, whatever. I go to bed. I'm like, I'm just being crazy again. I go back to bed, put the gun back, get in bed, lay back down, and like I start to fall asleep and I hear it again. And it's louder. I'm like, oh, someone is in my house. And now they've seen me.
Yeah.
And they were hiding.
Yeah.
And I didn't see them. So I'm like, fuck. All right, so I get out of bed, I get the gun. And I'm like, okay.
Is your wife awake?
Now she has woken up. She's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, go to bed. I was like, someone's in the fucking house. Shut up. So I'm like, all right, my son's door's closed. I'm good. And I make it around and whatever. And again, no one in the garage, whatever. And I walk, and I just stand still. Like if you walk in my front door, it's basically the center of the entire house. And I just stand there for like 2 minutes, and I hear it, and I'm like, they think I'm in bed. And I wait, and it happens again, and I'm like, all right, that's it. And I just open the door, and it's my fucking screen door. It's like, because it's a house I haven't lived in long.
So you're telling me
Yep.
the screen door was peeking in your window?
Oh.
Yeah.
This is an ancient riddle solved.
But this is like a
Cut that part
out. With me, this is like a repetitive. Like this is like, oh, I heard something.
Yeah.
Gotta go waltz around naked with the gun again.
Yeah.
When I moved to Massachusetts, I bought an 1885 Queen Anne Victorian home.
Oh Lord.
Yes,
Haunted.
And so
It had tin ceilings.
So
by the
back
way.
in the day, they would when you would die, they would have the funeral at
in the
house.
parlor. Yeah.
So
no good.
I was like, "Yo, this place is gonna be fucking haunted," and it just wasn't. It was spooky, but it was not haunted. Nothing cool. Nothing cool happened at all.
You got me there. I was on the edge of my seat.
You
What,
guys
with the screen door.
Yeah. Yeah, you have a
we
good lead
eat?
up. Good build.
Well, we're gonna talk about you.
Oh. You guys eating good?
Are you eating?
I don't
I
eat
literally.
anymore.
You're
I'm
over
not
it.
kidding. I have not eaten today.
You ate today. You ate some of my
leftover.
My leftover.
Someone else's leftover Chinese that they gave to Paul.
Yeah, that's not
still-
not real
I
calories.
bought
Those are
pretzel
fake
bites
calories.
for $10. They
No.
gave me 6 of them.
It's a crime. Steven got the same ones. He's pissed about it.
I was like, dude, this is. I'm not even like I don't care about the money.
Hang on.
Like this is crazy.
Leading back to me being your nicest friend, I gave you the food.
Whatever, dude.
He gave
me someone else's
Chinese
leftovers.
food, and he offered you the singer of the band.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm sensing a pattern.
You're welcome. And I got him to go to barber school.
What were you? What
It's
was
really good.
what was Missing Link eating in Europe?
Oh, everything.
Everything.
Well, I'm not a very adventurous eater.
Paul's eating mozzarella sticks now.
Mozzarella sticks, brother.
I don't really
7:30.
remember eating anything crazy
McDonald's,
except for
of
in
course.
Italy.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Italy, we went to like a nice spot in San
How was that?
It was July 4th. It was my mom's
awesome.
birthday when we were in
Oh, it
Milan.
was.
Happy
Wow, that
birthday,
really
Paul's
keeps
mom.
coming
Now,
up.
Paul, what's your mom's name?
Noreen.
Noreen.
That was
Dove?
my grandma's name. Noreen. I loved her.
Noreen Dove.
Have you had the mozzarella sticks
Beautiful
from Chili's? The big guys?
Dude, they put me down in ways I've never been down.
Those things are so
I was beyond horizontal.
I can
never
eat
thought it
maybe
possible.
1 or 2 of them right
Oh, I
now.
ate all 6.
That's
I
it,
would
though.
I
crush
did
them
two
right
out of 2 out of 3 of my triple dips were the
I'm
mozzarella
saying in
sticks.
my
Nice. I didn't know you
current
could do that.
state,
Criminal.
I'll eat 1 and then get full.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
crazy good right now.
Yeah, you're
So
looking.
hungry.
You're looking
Starving.
trip.
Trying
You're on a
to.
journey.
It's the anxiety and depression that really
Sure.
makes
No, it
No,
works good. Works good.
How
not that.
long have you been dieting?
I'm just taking the shot.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
yeah.
How much do you mind sharing? How much you've
I
lost?
lost 72 pounds in 5 months.
Miracle that
Dude,
thing,
we
huh?
Listen.
went from, like, I saw him, and then 2 weeks later we played a show, and I was like, you're visibly 20 pounds lighter.
Yeah. Awesome.
He's like,
So-
it's pretty cool.
I have medical stuff that basically makes it so I don't have a metabolism at all. That I found out maybe 3 years ago. So I've always been a big guy, and I've always like my like diet to lose weight is like extreme in the gym, like cardio like ever, and then eating the very cleanest you could possibly eat, like doing everything that I'm like told nutritional wise to do, and I'll lose like a pound.
Oh no.
So I don't know, whatever this shit is I'm taking.
It's
If
magic.
it gives me cancer, I've already
No, there's
defined it, whatever.
the misconception
brother.
that Ozempic is like this thing that's going to be found to be dangerous years later. It's been so heavily studied.
Yeah.
It's like completely FDA approved.
Any
You're gonna be
of
great.
the side effects are the
And
ones that
run
they've
the ad, right?
Yeah. The side effects are an upset tummy.
Yeah.
Stomach ache
Stomach
Yeah.
ache.
and not hungry.
I don't know. It works. I lost a bunch of weight.
That's-
I feel great,
it's
and
awesome.
all my nice clothes fit me again.
Oh, that's nice.
Congratulations.
Dude, fitting and
That's-
stuff is, as a
it's the
guy
best part.
who, I fluctuate. I have about 5 bodies a year.
Oh yeah,
I'm in number 2.
you're looking trim right
Yeah,
now.
you look
I'm in number 2. I was number
you off
1
the
a
sauce,
few weeks
dude?
ago. Oh yeah. But you know, I get it.
Yeah.
So enjoy it. Enjoy
That's
your
great.
clothes that fit.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah, I kept my big ones when I get back up there again.
You gotta.
Yeah, come back.
Couple jackets.
I'm having the opposite where I'm trying to actively get bigger, and now bigger clothes fit better, and it feels so good. Oh yeah.
Good
but-
for you.
It's
Now I know you're eating. I
He
can
thinks
see
he's
it in your body.
He thinks he's a 3X and he's not.
You're not a 3X.
what size is that right there?
3X
He's a
shotgun.
3X.
That's a choice, though.
He
And I
looks
respect
great.
the choice.
Like, here's the thing, okay? You gotta have style.
Sure, yeah, I know.
Style, baby.
Like, I was big for a minute where I definitely was not filling out a 3X, but was, you know.
Yeah, but when I met you, when you
Oh,
were
I was a twig.
when you were
I
in
was like
Sacred
that.
Pledge, you
Oh.
had
XVX.
braces
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
and sweatpants on, and were like
Dude,
very skinny
And-
at the Utica skate rink.
Dude, Mikey Hood one time gave me a 3XL West Coast
Worldwide.
Worldwide shirt, and it was like neon blue, and he's like, "Yo, put that on. You ain't wearing no large."
And that made you.
He made me
That was
wear it.
And Mikey Hood basically told him one time he's a 3X, and he still is.
No,
to
I've
this day.
that was
upgraded recently to the 3X because the I like them to be long.
That was Lucius Fox making you the bat
Yeah,
suit.
Yeah.
But my wife makes fun of me all the time.
Comes in black.
Yeah. Wow, that's beautiful.
Do you guys eat though?
Oh, we eat.
Oh, we
You guys eat?
Last night we had Jets.
we had a taste of my homeland.
No, we had Jets first.
Oh yeah, we had Jets. We each ate.
Yeah.
They have a Jets here?
They have a Jets
yeah.
here. It was wonderful.
I missed the one in Brandon, Florida. I'll be honest with you. Let's go, Brandon, Florida Jets. It's incredible. But the one in Orlando was pretty good too.
So we had Jets, then we hit the gym, then we had Portillo's.
This is a 2-hour
Ooh.
span.
It was
I had never had Portillo's before. We recorded the record, and on our way
yeah.
out, we went to the one near the airport.
Oh, that's a good one.
we
And
went
Chris-
That's a great one.
yeah.
Chris, dude,
Oh.
you guys should really talk to Chris about food because he will blow your mind.
He's a burger aficionado.
He talks
Dude.
to his food.
He talks to his food.
He's so.
I'm not
I'm
kidding.
so
Can
you show
jealous.
me?
you're in
What does he
America.
do?
Dude, I swear. All right, we were
See,
in,
we got
we were
locked
in Europe,
dude.
and he had like a baked good, and he's like, we were in Milan, and he was sitting on like this kind of stoop thing, and we're all just hanging out, waiting like outside of this cathedral, and I literally watch him like take a bite, and he goes, "Oh fuck, that was a good bite."
No, that was a different time. No, that was a different time. That was a good bite. Was me and him were eating
A burger.
a burger.
He did this.
Okay.
Dude,
Okay.
he's unreal.
He
He's so
took a
cool.
bite of a burger. We went. I think we were in Buffalo. We went and ate somewhere, and he took a bite of a burger, and he goes, "Oh, that was a good fucking bite."
So the
I love
Portillo's
him.
thing.
He's
is,
unreal.
I had never been, and I had to like go piss or something, and he's waiting in line, and I swear to God, I walk up behind him, and he's like smiling, like nodding.
Oh yeah.
Just like
And I go,
vibrating.
Yo, are you okay? He's like, I'm so fucking excited.
The kid did it.
So I'm like, tell me what to get. What do you get? So he gets, and it was like good, and he just sits down. Whatever, he got a ton of stuff. He sits down, he just takes a bite, and he's like, it's the best. He's like, I'm so happy. And it was like really good. So I was like, dude, this is awesome. He's like, amazing. It's amazing.
You guys transform into him when you do him.
He is
really
very
funny.
specific.
It's really funny.
The best person he's in the band because Nick is always gone.
Yeah.
Evan is normal and can't play all the shows. Chris was like, I'll do it, I'll fill in. And then he just played more shows than everyone else. I was like, you're just in the band now.
And crazy stage presence.
And
brings a lot. Like
he
show
has
one,
technical ability.
I was
he
like,
is
come on. He's
the
one.
best person to be in a band with because if I go, hey Mike, we're gonna go play this show. It's 11 hours away, and we have to drive a Toyota Tercel there. You would say no. Chris
Mike
will
says,
just go.
I'm not leaving my house.
Chris will go. Fuck, it's gonna suck, but
All right, let's do it.
fuck it, let's do it.
And then he's happy
And
the whole time.
He's amazing.
He never has a moment, even if we're like eating shit.
Okay, I need to do something then. Chris, this is a video of Chris eating a burger. He's going to send me one for this.
That was a good bite.
Oh, this is gonna be awesome.
I have dude.
We have a really good picture of him.
We can't. The story leading up to this we will not say, but we were on a plane flying back from Europe, and he was feeling good, and he's sitting next to me, and I have a picture of this. I'll show it in a minute. It's just him, like
looking
at a burger.
at a picture of a burger on his phone.
He's unbelievable.
And he was
This is
literally
incredible.
Dude, and then this, I think it was the other way. He was sitting watching a movie, no headphones, blaring Metallica,
But watching the movie.
watching a movie just like this. 6 hours.
What movie?
I don't even know.
Probably
dude.
the menu.
If it was like Lord of the Rings, I will lose my mind.
No, it was like a comedy movie. And he's just
unreal.
like smiling like
He's the guy.
teeth. Like
We played a show in San Jose.
he's fucked up.
And they had this big video wall that was just playing YouTube videos, and it was playing a live Metallica set from wherever. He loves Metallica. It's his favorite band. And but here's the thing. If Metallica was playing at a show, you'd be like fuck yeah. He's like he's like, this is fucking pumping me up right now.
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
like, there's no sound. It's
Dude,
playing.
the
It's
volume on the plane that he was listening, like I didn't know AirPods
were
could
landing.
go that loud.
We were landing.
It was so
over the landing
loud.
noise.
Dude, it
Wow.
was crazy. And I love Metallica. This dude. Then we went to
I'm a Pantera man. I'm
well,
sorry.
I was gonna say we went to Dimebag's grave and he was like somber.
man.
Like, I was like,
Cried.
this is cool.
Yeah.
He was standing there like I was like, are you okay? He's like, this is heavy for me.
Dude, I don't think.
And I was like, really?
Wow, that's beautiful.
I don't want to end the episode on something so sad, but I don't think people realize like how scary that really is. Like
Yeah.
the way in which he died.
Oh
is like,
yes.
Yeah.
None of us are really ever that far from that.
No.
And that's really scary.
I had a guy say hi to
Well,
me
not here.
at
It's
a
fucking locked
urinal.
up tight out there. I'll tell you what.
No, it's not.
I was taking a piss at a urinal.
Yeah.
And a dude came up to the urinal next to me and just was like, Mike Ryan? And I was like, did I do something?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I love you guys. I'm going to see you right now. Like he was driving there too. And I was like, dude, I can't imagine how people that get actually. I'm just a normal guy.
Yeah,
to get
right.
actually famous, it must drive you like because I was like, whoa.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like accessible to people that in my head I'm something that I'm not. In their head I'm something I'm not.
Well, also too, outside of hardcore, there's been many situations that have gone very bad.
Sure.
And it was just like, all right, well, imagine I'm where I think I'm good, and someone's like, hey, bud, you're not good.
You're not good.
You know?
Yes,
Like,
it is. But yeah. Anyways, I have an awesome picture of him smoking a joint at Dimebag's grave.
Yeah,
Looking
I mean, that's
somber.
As he should.
Green Jelly was there.
With
Yeah,
you?
Really?
dude.
They
They
just
came
showed
up
up?
and they were like, "Yo, what's up? Are you guys in a band?" We're like, "Yeah." They're like, "You want to take a picture?"
That's fucking
yeah,
sick.
they're
Actually.
You're like, yo, Dumb and Dumber soundtrack, one of the greatest ever. That's
I
awesome.
had no idea who they were.
Yeah.
Oh, you never heard
And then
that?
they said the Dumb and Dumber soundtrack thing. I was like, "Oh, now I get it." But
Wait, they did?
no, like the guys in the band.
Oh, I
Yeah.
wish Green Jelly was
I was
like,
like, who
we're
are
Green Jelly, we're from the Dumb and Dumber soundtrack.
I'd be like, "That's so cool,
Dude, it is cool. The song is good. The bear went over the mountain. It's a banger. We've got some questions from our Discord people to end the episode. Most of
us
them are
specifically?
absolute ass.
Yeah.
Ask all the bad ones.
No, they're terrible. Somebody said, "Who is that peeking in your window?" And we know that now. It's the screen.
Screen door.
That is gonna follow me like the rest of my life.
100%. You're
That's
fucked.
what Bruce said.
You
today.
did that.
I know.
So
Bruce
that's-
said,
He goes,
you know, he's like, people still come up to me and go, you know who I
You
love?
know who I love?
And I was like, yeah. And he goes, you know, Mike, in 15 years, someone's going to go, who's peeking in my window?
Somebody ask your favorite breakdown of all time.
That's a good one.
one popped into my head immediately.
That's the
Immediately,
answer.
yeah.
That's
But
the
I don't
answer.
know if it's because it's not.
So
right.
there's two
think
for
about
me
it.
that pop into my head. I don't. I'm really bad with song names, but it's on a Broken Wings song. Fuck.
Is it
It's not that one.
Dan?
It's not that one. It's the one with the.
This is
really
drum
long.
mime talking.
Yeah. But
Send it to me.
Yeah, send it to me.
it's that or House of Fists, Blood Has Been Shed.
Nice.
Will shoot someone to that.
There's a lot because I'm into the breakdowns.
Sure, yeah.
Immediately, I thought of maybe because we're in Florida, implosive disgorgence, confined to torment. If you've never heard, truly one of the craziest slams ever.
First ever implosive.
Have you ever heard them?
No.
Really?
Dude,
No, never.
dude, you're about to be
Yeah,
fucked up.
I haven't
by
either.
that.
I love it.
Or that one in that Corpse song.
Oh,
Fuck.
Corpse with a K. The
Yeah.
Devil's Breath.
Devil's Breath.
Oh,
yeah.
I've heard that one.
What's yours?
Dude,
what comes to
banger.
mind?
Favorite breakdown
Yeah.
ever? There's two. It's Crowbar to Carry the Load.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Suffocation,
What about?
Thrones of Blood.
Mine would be Marauder Time Ends.
But
That's cool.
The yeah.
what
Dun,
about
dun, dun.
breakdown that would makes you want to commit felony assault? That's how I perceive that question. Not favorite breakdown.
There's just so,
Suffocation-
there's just so
Suffocation, Thrones of
many.
Blood.
Suffocation, yeah.
There
Like
are
a good,
so
like
many.
like good ones, really good ones are hard to come by.
You know the
There's
scene.
not many original ones left.
Yeah.
You know the scene in Goodfellas when Ray Liotta walks back across and beats the dude. What's the song that you would have playing? You know, it's like what.
Suffocation, Thrones of Blood.
Yeah, House of Fists for sure.
Sorry. Beautiful.
We used to always joke that it was Earth Crisis.
I can't wait for you to text me later.
I'm
and
gonna
be like,
text
dude,
you.
this implosive
Yeah,
discordance
we'll listen
song
to
is
it on
I'm
the
fucking
gonna
way.
text the fuck out of you.
We'll
Somebody
listen to it on the way out
asked,
here.
speaking of the missing link, what's your favorite cryptid?
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow,
Cryptid?
Yeah.
like a
Come on, Ghost Hunter.
yeah,
Yeah,
like a.
Mine is the Chupacabra, obviously.
Okay,
obviously. You're loyal to your home.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a favorite.
Mothman,
So-
dude.
Mothman is cool.
It's actually
Mothman's
cool.
chill as fuck.
Yeah.
Mothman's cool because that one
It's creepy.
is creepy.
It's got to be like a.
Oh, Hatman.
Dude,
He's
that
re-
counts. That
That's
counts.
not a cryptid. He's real.
I just like it because so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know him very well.
I think skinwalkers are real, so it's got to be.
Yeah, I
Skinwalker.
believe that.
Dude,
Great answer.
we've mentioned it. Yeah, that's a good one. We've mentioned it before, but I've played shows
I've been
and
visited by that man.
I've played shows in Reno and asked the locals, like, and they straight up, they're like, yeah,
I've spent a lot of time.
not
in
going to talk
Reno.
about it. Like, they don't.
That's awesome.
It's the biggest little city.
Played in a bunch of bands from there.
I like it there.
I like it there quite a bit.
I
We
like
love
it too.
Reno
Yeah.
on HardLore. My wife's from there, so. What is, in your opinion, the most meaningful song you've ever written?
I didn't write it, so
Nice.
I played
like,
drums.
Yeah, it's for the band. Like, depends on what you mean by meaningful.
Like,
I
it means
guess.
a lot to you. It's full of meaning.
My brother wrote a song for my grandfather that I will just say, when I heard it, I cried.
That's
which
really
is probably
nice.
the first time I cried in like 15 years.
That's really nice.
It's good. It probably got to be something on the B side of the record.
You gotta
Yeah.
bury those a little. They can't let.
Actually, Another Cross, yeah?
Oh, another cross to go. Another cross or pillory, maybe. That one's kind of like about my kid.
I didn't write it, but we finally got Bruce on a song,
Got
and
Bruce
that's
on a
been
song.
top of
That's
my
like
list.
meaning. That's yeah.
That
it's like-
means a lot to me
yeah,
because
right.
I'm-
It's
Heard.
he's my guy.
Yeah,
So-
100%.
so cool. Also, he recorded that and sent it back in like 12 hours.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like,
one
we did it,
single
sent
track,
it to
no,
him.
no second take, no double, no nothing.
Dude, so cool.
He's the best.
And like so, like for me, the guy that wrote and then for him to be like texting me like, "You're an amazing lyricist." Like,
Yeah.
I wish I could have written this. You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
I mean, you guys
No
both
clue.
listed his record
Yeah.
in your in your
and I
always.
think pretty obviously influenced.
Sure.
Like,
For sure.
You know, I think you maybe like connect with certain records, and In the Eyes of the Lord has like a lot of religious themes, and our record has a lot of religious themes. Not really necessarily in the same way, maybe kind of in the same way, but you know.
Are you a religious guy?
I'm not. I'm like a. My wife would tell you I'm like the weirdest religious guy of all time. Weird. I'm like
spiritual.
This is news to me.
I'm like I think I like find like symbols and characters and stuff that I like really cling to.
Okay.
And so
but you're not like thinking that the Bible is like historical fact.
I don't. No.
Interesting.
I don't.
I was like, not again. I can't do this in another band.
No, definitely not in a way where like I'm.
He gets it.
I do.
Yeah,
I really do.
It's hard to explain.
No, I respect.
view the stories as like incredibly important.
Like amazing works of fiction.
Yeah, but in a way that it's like it is real in the to me in the sense of like the metaphor,
the meaning is real.
The meaning is so real.
My dad is the same way.
That I'm like blown away by how many layers of meaning there are. But I don't view it as like this for sure happened.
It's more of like a system to live by, like a
Not doctrine.
Just interesting. I'm like very intrigued by it.
It is the most interesting thing.
Yeah,
by
some
far.
would say,
and not even just the Bible necessarily, but there's others too, like from other religions that I really cling to. So, like I said, my wife would tell you I'm like the weirdest spiritual ever.
Paul never knew that about you. We love to learn on this show. That's my Nardbar today, is that I expose to the world that Mike is the weirdest religious guy
Mike's a
of all
Christian.
time.
That's crazy.
Yeah, insane. Let's see, what do we got? Best bagel
Bagel?
in the
Love
state of New
bagels,
York.
dude.
Fuck yeah.
There's a spot Killa always takes me to that's in Babylon. I don't know the name of it.
Okay.
We're
Delicious
It's
bagels.
so good.
You gotta
But-
keep the gate a little bit.
But I will attest to Long Island has the best bagels
I agree.
out of the whole state, but
And I don't think it's
everyone
close.
from Long Island has their spot.
Yeah.
Of course.
Because
So-
there's a million.
Bagel
of them.
Boss, Bagel Chalet.
But like upstate bagels don't compare to Long Island.
Actually,
I
there
agree.
is this place
There's
called
good ones.
Connecticut has the best ones, though.
This place that's wrong. There's a
I've never
place
had a Connecticut
called
bagel.
Uncommon Grounds
I'll take
in Saratoga and in Albany. They have phenomenal bagels, and they make them
I love
themselves.
bagels.
Lock,
I
stock,
eat
and bagel
a bagel a
in
day.
Connecticut.
Really?
I'm telling you.
Yes, a bagel a day.
I think
Really?
When I'm home, yes, without fail.
I haven't had a bagel.
I
I got it.
per,
I love bagels.
I think per square mile, Long Island might have some of the best food.
in general.
dude, it's
In general.
That's
I'm a fan
all
of-
they've got
we
going.
have-
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Long Island.
They got
I love
traffic.
Yeah, it's
You
yeah.
can't get in or
My-
out.
Yeah.
This,
Once
we're
you're
this
there.
close to being a Long Island band.
My beef with Long
true.
Island is that it's always a birthday party.
Yeah.
And it's
Smithtown.
somehow on the other
Like
side of the
every
island.
guy I know that we know from Long Island, Evan, can you play the show? Oh, I can't. It's a birthday party that weekend. And he's like dead ass serious. I'm like,
So you
we're
don't like that
35
they
years
they
old.
respect the sanctity of birthday parties in Long
Yeah.
Island?
They love birthday parties. I don't, because I'm like, you're not 8.
I hate getting older.
I love birthday parties.
Well, you'd fit right in.
Eh? Long Island, big fan. It's kind of like the Valley, so it makes a lot of
That
sense.
is actually.
Let me ask you something. This one can maybe be the last question. I like this one. What do you individually think you can beat anybody at?
Oh, great.
Eating nuggets, Mario Kart, me as well.
I can
What's the thing
beat
you're good at?
anyone at?
Yeah,
Trivia?
trivia. You're good at trivia.
No,
No,
I'm
I've beaten you
trivia.
at trivia a couple times. What do you think you can beat anyone at? Not historical. I can-
Anyone.
Yeah.
Knowledge
I
of...
just
got me
think
on
of like
these.
the best of things. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if
Well,
I'm
what's
that
the
good
one
at
thing you are? Weird religion?
No, not even
I've heard you're the most.
the weirdest.
The weirdest.
Tony Hawk. Give me 2 minutes and Tony Hawk.
You don't fuck
One?
anybody up?
I don't know if
which
I
the first
will.
time you could start manualing and like reverting, so you
Yeah,
can really
Underground?
build stuff. Underground,
Come on.
but probably like 3. I think is where
Okay.
it really started.
I'm going to say 2 things. One is just knowledge of Harley Davidson dynos from 06 to 2017.
Damn,
I'll smoke anybody.
Believe it.
It's true.
Or bowling.
you're a good bowler.
Dude.
Phenomenal bowler.
Man, I-
Respect. I've gotten a gutter ball with bumpers.
You're the best at being the worst.
I'm the best at
bowling.
being the worst. I'm the best
I'm
worst bowler.
terrible at bowling.
Me and my buddy Ryan, the little tiny baby, tiny little short, weak Ryan. We would
Okay.
go bowling. He'll get it.
Okay.
We would go bowling, and he is so competitive anytime anyone would beat him, he would get really mad. So it was just, the goal was to beat him, and we just became really good bowlers. I was already pretty good at it,
Yeah.
and then in that time, I'm pretty fucking good at bowling.
I'm terrible.
Missing link bowling shirt.
You're gonna be,
You're gonna be billionaires. Get
I
to
can
work.
probably whip that.
Get to
up.
Yeah, you
work.
probably whip
Yeah.
that up. Evan Duck will whip
Oh,
it.
yes, he will.
I'll make the idea and then I'll text Evan and
You know that Evan texted me before we recorded the awards saying, "Guys, like I really think Missing Link should win the."
oh,
Album
he
of the
sent me a
Year award."
screenshot.
Okay.
It was a more violent text than that.
Yeah, but it was like Evan. What? We've never talked about this ever. What do you mean?
He was like texting me just about basically that. And he was like, watch this, and then like 2 minutes later sends me this screenshot. And I'm like, dude,
Like they already won.
aggressive.
There's a pun in like missing lanes for your bowling shirt. There's something there. There's something in there.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. It takes
There's
a minute.
something.
That's I'm gonna
Watch.
say that's the thing that I'm best at is figure. I can like correlate things that people aren't thinking about, and then they go, of course, and then they buy the shirt.
Perfect.
That's what.
That's
I'm
what
And
you
I go,
need.
Looks good.
looks good, man. I'll
Yeah, and like I'm gonna just because we won HardLore Album of the Year. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna say I'm the best at writing my lyrics.
dude, we should make a shirt.
Dude,
Oh.
HardLore album winner, album of the year.
Is there a physical award? Like, what is the deal?
I
working
can
on-
I can make you.
We're
one.
working on
Has
it.
Like, why
anybody-
haven't you made a plaque or a trophy?
The plan we were doing to do a live one last year, and then Kale died, and Kale was gonna paint the awards.
Okay,
He was
So-
gonna actually.
because I would
So I
like a
need Kale
glass.
to come back and paint these fucking
What would
awards.
it be?
What would
A
it
spin
be?
kicker?
That has been the concept.
So a
That has
karate guy.
Yeah.
They have
No,
karate.
no,
well,
but
they
like-
have karate.
but he
trophies.
needs
Has
to
anybody
camo
made a
pants.
shirt though?
been of
Like,
No.
HardLore.
Like we won the.
You're the second.
By
ever.
all means.
Who won
It's
last year?
Pain of Truth and Missing Link. That's
Oh,
it.
paint a shirt. Oh, they beat us. They did it first again.
They did it again. Dude, I'm so
Again.
sad. I know. But you know, recent is what counts.
We are in the eternal shadow of Pain of Truth. I feel.
Well, you got it's a
We're like
race.
the
It's
evil-
a race to the second LP now.
We're gonna lose. I
it's
wanted
done?
to do like a Treehouse of Horrors evil twin
Yeah.
split. This was
Yeah.
like an idea a couple years ago, where like they're the good twin, obviously,
Yeah.
we're the evil one.
The twist is that.
And then Nick is just confused.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, it's a clone. The clone is of Nick.
That's good.
There it is. Well, Missing Link, album of the year, as we've said.
Congratulations.
We did
Thank
it.
you.
Paul,
Thank you.
Mom,
Mom.
Noreen, Dove.
She's
July
gonna be
4th. Happy birthday.
Can you shout out my mom too, dude?
Mike, what's your birthday?
Lisa
Lisa.
Ryan.
Lisa Ryan. Outstanding.
Yeah.
Birthday?
What's her birthday?
July 15th.
Wow. Look at that.
Dude, I'm bringing you guys closer together. This is real.
Leos? And would they be Leos? I don't know.
I don't know.
No, I'm a Leo and I'm August.
I have
Okay.
an American.
Whatever's
holiday
Me and
birthday.
James Hetfield have the same birthday.
Huge.
Big revelation.
That's
What's your
huge.
birthday, Paul?
June 14th, Flag Day.
That,
Wow. The day.
Very American.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I knew that.
Yeah.
Well, we're starving here.
Yep.
So we're
Yep.
gonna wrap this up so we can go eat. Guys, thank you so much for joining
Thanks
us.
for having us.
Thank you for writing a great record.
yeah,
Thanks.
good job today.
Take your time. You know, I know it's hard. Following up is very tough. The second album is make or break.
We're
know.
cooking.
I know. I know.
We're starting to cook.
Starting
Can't
to
wait to hear it.
Things are cooking.
Take your time in the kitchen. People are gonna love it. Album of the year. Watch me bleed. Thanks for watching. Bye.